See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The White House calls it extreme politics at its worst. Elisa Brady, Fox News. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy directing a House committee to open an impeachment inquiry of President Biden, accusing him of lying about knowledge of his son's business dealings, based on House probes conducted so far.
This logical next step will give our committees the full power to gather all the facts and answers for the American public. It's exactly what we want to know, the answers. I believe the president would want to answer these questions and allegations as well.
An advisor to the president says House Republicans have found no evidence of wrongdoing after 9 months of investigating, also accusing McCarthy of flip-flopping on a pledge to hold a vote on launching an impeachment probe. More Americans are living in poverty. A census report finds the poverty rate, which dropped during pandemic relief programs, jumped last year to nearly 12.5%. President Biden pointing a finger at Republicans who refused to extend the enhanced child tax credit. Reassurance from the Pennsylvania governor on day 13 of the search for escaped killer Danilo Cavalcante, who's now armed with a stolen rifle.
I know that this is a moment of worry in the community, but we're doing everything we can, and I've got the utmost confidence in the Pennsylvania State Police that we will apprehend this suspect and we'll be able to return to some normalcy in this great community.
Governor Josh Shapiro says everything's possible is being done to keep people safe, also repeating a warning from state police for residents to lock buildings and cars and report anything suspicious. Last night, a homeowner shot at Cavalcante as he stole a rifle from a garage, but he remains on the run. The U.S. is sending emergency funds to relief groups and coordinating with the UN to help with flooding in Libya, where more than 1,000 people are now confirmed dead and at least 10,000 are missing. America is listening to Fox News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The northwest flow has pushed the unsettled weather out. We've got mostly sunny skies this afternoon, 75 for the high. Tonight, clear and chilly. Temperatures this evening drop into the upper 60s and 52 for the low. Let's just make it simple for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Lots of sunshine, nice, comfortable, 78 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Now's the time to call 314-993-9494, which is the Retirement Advisory Group. So you can reserve your spot for the last of the year Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It is Tuesday, October 3rd at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30 p.m. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. He does not take up your whole evening. I don't even know if it sometimes doesn't last longer than 45 minutes. You just get to sit and listen to how when you were that person who is at the end of your career and you're looking to retire, but you want to shift and you're asking yourself, did I do enough? What smart decisions do I need to make right now so that if the market goes way up or goes way down, I'm not going to be adversely impacted by it? Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw have those answers for you, and they give them to you when you visit at this event. It's free. Grab a friend. eat some treats. Come visit. I should be there at 6 o'clock along with Mark Cox and Mark Reardon. Call 314-993-9494 to reserve your spot now. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with TrueHold. TrueHold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And TrueHold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since TrueHold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit TrueHold.com and discover how much TrueHold will buy your home for today, based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's TrueHold.com.
While interest rates are skyrocketing everywhere else, Diamonds Direct comes to the rescue. Now for a limited time, get 0% interest for 5 years on anything and everything. Now through October 1st, you get Diamonds Direct's incredible value price and spread your payments over 5 years with an unheard of interest rate of 0.0%. Nothing's held back. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets. At a time when you need it most, Diamonds Direct steps up for the best offer in the nation. Don't miss it. Get details, showroom hours, and more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. On approved credit.
1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced. Let the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts test your battery for free. They can also help you find the best Superstart battery for your vehicle. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof, Frederick Roofing.
Over 90,000 satisfied customers since 1929. Frederick Roofing, 314-645-2000.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. We're grateful that you are here with us today. It has been quite a morning on Capitol Hill because Kevin McCarthy came out and made an announcement regarding that impeachment inquiry. And we're going to talk a little bit about that with our guest, Andy McCarthy, here in a second. Let's listen to a different McCarthy speaking on this. The Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy's words this morning.
Open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. This logical next step will give our committees the full power to gather all the facts and answers for the American public. That's exactly what we want to know, the answers. I believe the President would want to answer these questions and allegations as well. This effort will be led by Chairman James Comer at the Committee on Oversight, in coordination with Chairman Jim Jordan for Judiciary Committee and Chairman Jason Smith on Ways and Means.
So the Speaker of the House has spoken about this impeachment inquiry, and I guess the natural question for folks who have maybe not seen this instance coming is, how did we get here? First, we're going to welcome on to the show our friend Andy McCarthy. He's a contributing editor at National Review. He's a Fox News contributor and an expert when it comes to so many of the legal issues facing American voters right now as they watch different sides of the aisles face a lot of legal trouble. Andy, welcome back to the show.
Annie, great to be with you.
Thank you so much. I want to give you the opportunity to talk a little bit about the impeachment inquiry that was talked about this morning by Kevin McCarthy. But where do you go from, wow, this looks really bad, to we need to take an official action on this with this impeachment inquiry?
Well, I think they went there, Annie, because of the politics of it. There's no magic moment. I think that, you do something like this. McCarthy's in kind of a quandary. I mean, I must say I would be much more comfortable if they were going to do this if they had taken a vote. We were very critical of the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi in connection with the Ukraine impeachment because the Democrats refused to take a vote on opening an impeachment inquiry. They just sort of acted like they were having one and announced it without a vote. And now it looks like Republicans are doing the same thing. And I assume he's doing it because he's got a large part of his conference of the Republicans in the House who are very enthusiastic to have an impeachment inquiry that could be kind of like a parallel proceeding in the political realm while Trump is looking at all of these criminal prosecutions in the judicial realm. But the problem they have is McCarthy's only got a 4-vote margin. He can't really afford to lose much of anyone. And you got 18 members, Republican members of the House who won in districts that were won by Biden in the 2020 election, and for whom it would have been a very tough vote to take an impeachment vote. So I guess rather than put those members on the spot and force them to vote, he's basically doing what Pelosi did and just saying, abracadabra, we now have an impeachment inquiry.
Andy McCarthy speaking with us right now. I guess that it is something that you just can do. The former speaker on the Democrat side of the aisle did it, and now we have a Republican speaker doing it as well. When you open up an impeachment inquiry, what status or authority, or what's the difference between yesterday if there wasn't one and tomorrow if there is one?
Well, I don't really think there is, except for politically. If they had done this the right way, you would vote on a resolution that would either designate an impeachment committee or would put a particular committee, usually the Judiciary Committee, because they're the ones with jurisdiction over things like whether high crimes and misdemeanors have been committed. But it doesn't have to be the Judiciary Committee. There's ways you can do it. The Democrats had an amalgam of 5 or 6 committees that were working together on it. We've had prior impeachment instances where they actually convened a special impeachment committee. But the important thing about doing it by way of a resolution with a vote is then you define what the jurisdiction of the committee is that is conducting the investigation, and it's on that basis that it issues its subpoenas. So since they haven't done a resolution like that, I don't see that they have a legal means to argue that they have some broad jurisdictional grant to any particular committee. They're just basically labeling what they're doing impeachment. I really don't think that's much of a big deal because the jurisdiction of the standing committees of Congress is pretty sweeping. The big difference between an impeachment committee and a standard standing committee of Congress is that the ordinary committees are generally reduced to being able to do investigations for legislative purposes, whereas an impeachment committee can really act like a grand jury. Ordinarily, Congress doesn't investigate crimes, at least not ostensibly. But an impeachment committee is allowed to do that because one of the things you're trying to find out is if there were treason, bribery, or high crimes and misdemeanors. So it's much more like a grand jury than an ordinary congressional committee. But again, I think you get that if you enact a resolution that has that kind of a jurisdictional grant in it, which they haven't done.
Andy McCarthy speaking with us right now, Fox News contributor and contributing editor at National Review. If in your mind, let's say the red wave in 2022 that we all expected to happen that just absolutely didn't, if that had occurred and there was a 25-seat majority, does this all look incredibly different right now?
Yeah, I think for sure, because a lot of McCarthy's hesitancy here, and let's face it, he knows what the record is. He was one of the people who was very critical of Pelosi when she did this back in 2019 in connection with the Ukraine impeachment. but he's in this hard spot because he's got a 4-vote margin. So I think you're quite right. If he had a 25-vote margin and it turned out that you had 18 Republicans who were worried about voting for an impeachment inquiry because they thought it would hurt them in their districts, he could free those 18 Republicans to vote against the impeachment inquiry, and he would still have the numbers he needed to get it authorized. So it would be night and day different.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what this impeachment inquiry is going to be investigating. And I think a lot of people who aren't paying attention to the details and the reports, I know Fox News has been digging into this quite a bit. And I just, on my Twitter profile at Annie Frey Show, tweeted out your article from the New York Post for people who want to read a little bit about your thoughts on this. The headline that you have with the New York Post suggests that you think that this impeachment inquiry, while it doesn't mean much, is progress against Biden. Tell me what you mean by that for anybody who's looking at this current president of the United States and either trying to say, oh, they're just mad because they got impeached or Donald Trump got impeached by Congress, they're doing the same thing. Or what did Joe Biden do when it comes to his relationship with his son and his business dealings? How is this progress?
Yeah, I think it's progress. Not that the impeachment, like the establishment of an impeachment committee itself, is much progress, because as we've just discussed, I really don't think a whole lot has changed between yesterday and today, other than the labeling. But what I was trying to do is take a step back and say, look what the Republican-controlled House has accomplished in the last 8 months. Where, in the first 2 years of the Biden administration, we had nothing but stonewalling and there wasn't any interest at all. And you can't really generate much interest if you don't have subpoena power. There wasn't any interest at all in pursuing not only the bribery allegations against Biden, but I actually think the most important thing going on in the country right now is the border. And there was, basically you couldn't get, other than, people who watch and follow conservative media, there was no coverage of what's happening in the border. And what's happening in the border is shocking. We have millions of people more people have come into this country during Biden's administration illegally than the size of a number of major cities in the United States. And it's the reason why you have even these big blue cities around the country are now finally, they want to try to blame Trump and blame the Republicans, but they're actually complaining to Biden, like, you got to do something about the border because we're dying here in these cities. We can't contain the crisis. So, I think between the family influence peddling scandal, the border, and to something of a lesser extent, Biden's propensity to issue executive orders that just blatantly violate the Constitution, this is a vehicle by which you can investigate together these irregularities under the Constitution with an eye toward establishing that he's unfit to be president, which is, they're never going to impeach him. They're never going to remove him.
Yeah.
Because in the Senate, there's no chance that you could ever get him convicted. But it makes a lot of sense politically, the way politics goes in this country now, to make this record as we head into an election year.
Yeah, I agree with that. Andy McCarthy with us right now, contributing editor at the National Review, Fox News contributor as well. As you've been speaking about this, I'm recalling, I don't know if this is like a deep cut. So let make sure you recall this. Right before Donald Trump's term came to an end, people thought he was going to win, but maybe wouldn't. Nancy Pelosi was in charge of the House. And I remember they started to refine the 25th Amendment. Do you remember that procedure happening when Donald Trump was still the president?
Yes.
So
after the Capitol riot, this is a flaw in the way that the Constitution is applied nowadays. But the idea is that if you had a situation where you thought that you really needed to get a president out of office, and there were a lot of people who felt that way with respect to Trump after the Capitol riot, the impeachment clause, as it's been carried out, doesn't really lend itself to that, because you have to do an investigation and then you have to have a trial, and that takes time. So what they were thinking about was, can we get him out under the 25th Amendment, which would have been unconstitutional because the 25th Amendment is intended to prevent like another Woodrow Wilson, where, the president's incapacitated for the last year and a half of his term because he's had strokes, something along those lines. Or if President Kennedy had survived the shooting in Dallas in a vegetative state and really couldn't carry out the responsibilities of the president. That's what the 25th Amendment's about. It's not supposed to be about, you don't think the president's fit because of high crimes and misdemeanors. If that's where you're coming from, you have to impeach him.
I remember people suggesting this at the time. Joe Biden had won the election. Is it possible that there was any foresight as to Joe Biden? I think most people watching Joe Biden try to execute the office of the presidency right now have serious questions about his ability to exercise those responsibilities.
Well, I think as an objective matter, you're completely right about that. But as a matter of practical politics, you would need really the vice president and at least half of the cabinet to even, get the ball rolling on that. And in fact, even with respect to Trump and even after January 6th, there was no way that Pence was going to invoke the 25th Amendment. And they didn't have, maybe they had one or two people in the cabinet who were willing to at least, engage the possibility of it. But, that was going nowhere, and it would go nowhere with Biden. I mean, look, if they thought they could get rid of Biden, he wouldn't be on cruise control to be nominated again, right? But they know that if you take the reason we have Biden is not that they think Biden is great. It's that he papers over what would otherwise be a civil war between the progressives and what passes for mainstream Democrats today. So they need Biden in order to not have that happen. That's the reason he got nominated the first time around, and that's the reason they haven't, moved away from him to this point.
That's such an important point. The Democrat Party is very segregated in thought and policy, and he is the Band-Aid that keeps them together. Andy McCarthy, thank you for your time today. We appreciate it. There's always more information to talk to you about. We look forward to having you back again soon.
Thanks so much, Annie.
Of course. Bye-bye. He's a contributing editor at National Review, Fox News contributor as well. I still am of the, I don't know if you would say sound mind, but I am of the distinct opinion that Joe Biden is not the Democrat nominee come 2024. And Brad, when I think about everything that is heating up and encircling Joe Biden like a kitchen fire.
Yeah. Like a really big kitchen fire that almost cost him his wife, his cat, and his Corvette.
Yes. The firewalls are closing in. He knows how to handle it because he's been there. It just seems to me like the closer it gets, the more you'd be able to persuade Joe Biden, listen, you can step down or we can take you out. And we have avenues to make that happen.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, as the firewalls are closing in, the only thing holding those walls out are support from the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
So if Joe Biden, if they say, Joe, we need you to step down, and he says, no, I'm not going to do that. Well, we might just find you guilty of whatever you're charged with in this impeachment that's coming down.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take a lot.
And I think it only matters whether or not the Democrats think that he can win. The less it looks like he can win re-election, as long as he can win re-election, politically speaking, I think Joe Biden will have all of the insulation that he needs, that the Democrat Party can provide him. But I don't think that he has that insulation. I think that it's not just his health. And I'm not saying age on purpose because it's his health, his mental acuity, his physical health. It's not just that, but it is that. It's his ability to handle crises facing our country like Andy McCarthy. And I would have gone in on this a little bit more, but we're going to have Jim Carafano on at 105. So we're going to talk about immigration and the border in New York City. But I'm also going to talk to him about how Joe Biden chose to acknowledge September 11th and some of the landmark things that Joe Biden chose yesterday to make happen. But Joe Biden's policies are killing this country, the heart and soul of this country. Joe Biden is responsible for that. We haven't even talked about Hunter Biden and his connection to Joe. I'm looking for somewhere around Joe Biden where there's a win. I can't find one. Other than the fact that he, just like you, are not Donald Trump. Is that enough? Maybe it is. But I think every day that passes, every day that Joe Biden finds himself in any semblance of the public eye, It gets exponentially worse for him, which is why he's on vacation all the time. And why he's not at the 9/11 memorial somewhere on, unfortunately, all the different locations you can go to mark that day. In my mind, there is no way that he is the guy on the ballot in 2024. And gosh, if I am wrong, from your lips to God's ears, he's the easiest one to beat, except for maybe Kamala Harris. So much to talk about. The YouTube live chat poll for today is about the impeachment inquiry that we were just speaking to Andy McCarthy about. Kevin McCarthy, the Speaker of the House, announced this, and interesting perspective from Andy there about how they went about doing it. They just were like, we're doing it. No vote. We're just doing it. Do you support it? Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and vote yes or no. And tell us, do you support an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden? On the Annie Frey YouTube channel in the live chat portion of today's broadcast. You can check that out there. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, more Annie Frey show. I'm going to weigh in on something. I have something that is potentially bold to say about Joe Biden, but I don't think people are saying it enough. So when we come back, I'm going to tell you what that is. And I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me. Maybe some of you won't. I'll talk to you about it when we return. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
In my dreams, you should see the things we do, baby. In the middle of the night, in my dreams, I know I'm gonna be with you, so I'll take my time. Are you ready for it?
Have you been looking for a dentist where you can go and feel comfortable, but also make sure you're getting the top-notch dental care? Folly Dental Group has done that for so many people in the bi-state region. I'm talking people driving from Missouri that come to Folly Dental Group because they want top-notch care for their dental issues. Sometimes those issues are complicated. Sometimes it's a missing tooth or something that's been chipped pretty bad and it's causing pain, and you're putting it off because you're afraid it's going to hurt more to go get it fixed. Stop. When you go to Folly Dental Group, they make you so incredibly comfortable. Personally, for me, I've had a couple cavities filled there. I don't like it. It makes me anxious. I get that laughing gas, and I feel just fine. And I get the cavity filled in a way that I am grateful the experience is actually kind of a pleasant one because they have Netflix on there, and I get to watch The Office, which is really the only place that I watch The Office is at the dentist. If you have sleep-disordered breathing, this happens in 80% of adults with moderate or severe sleep apnea go undiagnosed. 90% of children with sleep-disordered breathing symptoms go undiagnosed. I myself have gone to Foley Dental Group to get a sleep appliance for one of my children, and it has made a great difference in their ability to get a whole night of great restful sleep that's helped with headaches the next day and kind of a lagginess the next day, among other things. If you're interested in a dentist, please go to my dentist at FoleyDentalGroup.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
We are Under Law, your St. Louis legal powerhouse. Auto accidents, work injuries, pharmaceutical litigations, we do it all.
Onder Law. Call 314 or 618-9000 to learn more.
Now is the time to replace your home's exterior during Banner Construction's 30th anniversary with same as cash financing. Beautify the exterior of your home and save with famous James Hardie siding and Pella windows. James Hardie looks and feels like real wood with no maintenance. Call now for special financing. Let Banner Construction's exterior design team give you a free quote. Call 314-569-1050. That's 569-1050 or online, bannerconstruction.com, and have a banner day.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. I'm going to show you my 5 steps for making the perfect radio ad. This one's about innovation refunds and the ERC. First step, be relatable. As a small business owner, I know that filing for the ERC tax refund can feel complicated and confusing. Also, I like pizza and puppies. There, done. Step 2, cold hard info. The ERC, or Employee Retention Credit for long, is a tax credit for eligible businesses that kept employees on payroll in 2020 and 2021. So if you qualify, Innovation Refunds Network of Independent Tax Attorneys could help you claim it. Step 3, call to action. Go to innovationrefunds.com to get started. Step 4, the jingle I wrote myself. Actually, scratch that. Just go to innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS and go to Step 5. Legal stuff.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands to treat ED at up to 95% off. That's right, the same active ingredient as the brand name for 95% less. It's the same ED medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof, Frederick Roofing.
Over 90,000 satisfied customers since 1929. Frederick Roofing, 314-645-2000.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gsLHonorFlight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com. Hey, it's Annie. Join me at the 9th Annual Madison County GOP Patriots Scramble Golf Tournament. It's this Friday. We're broadcasting live noon to 3 p.m. from Oakbrook Golf Club in Edwardsville. You golf, we talk. For information or to sign up to play, visit 971talk.com/events.
She packed my bags last night, pre-flight. 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a kite by then.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
I miss the earth so much. I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space on such a timeless flight. And I think it's gonna be.
I thought this was Rocket Man. It isn't, is it?
I'm just going to let it play a little bit.
Is it? Yeah, okay. I am so dumb. It's just, not my forte, and I'm not going to pretend like it is.
I know the songs, but like if you ask me, what's the title of that song? Oh.
Well, here's the thing. This is how big of a nerd I am about what I am paid to do here, which is to follow the news, and how big of a nerd I am not when it comes to music trivia. The first thing that I thought of when I heard that song was Kim Jong-un.
Well,
because we played that song a lot when Trump was in office and was calling him Little Rocket Man.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
One of the funniest things that Donald Trump ever tweeted. I read Mike Pompeo's book, like 80% of it. I want to get him on the show. Let's promote his book. I've read it.
Mike Pompeo.
Yeah, just go do that.
All right.
Okay.
I'll give him a call.
He writes in his book about going to North Korea. It's really interesting to get Mike Pompeo's perspective on things. And I will give you this little nugget from having read Mike Pompeo's book. Jim Carafano, who's going to be on the show at 1:05, has told the story multiple times in conversations with me about the agreements that were reached, which was really remain in Mexico, I believe, between the United States and Mexico. The United States went to Mexico and said, this is what you're going to do. And they said, no, it is not. And then they went and negotiated a little bit. And then America came back and said, this is what you're going to do. And if you don't, we're going to pull the entire rug out from underneath you and cripple you. And they're like, okay, we'll do it. But we're going to tell all our people that Donald Trump is a meanie and we're going to put it on you. And everybody was like, that sounds great. Good deal. Make it happen. But Mexico wanted to do that, like the leaders wanted to do the Remain in Mexico policy, because if you don't get to pass through Mexico, maybe you don't start and cross the southern border of Mexico. Maybe Mexico says remain in whatever country you came from. And they go back and forth and negotiate. But Jim Carafano never says, he's like, he has said before on the show, like, I'm not going to disclose who this person was. Mike Pompeo tells that story in his book. I think it's Pompeo and maybe Kushner. I'm not 100% sure. But Pompeo told that same story. And I remember that from his book. And I feel really proud about that because I don't always get to read. But I do listen to audiobooks, and Pompeo's was a good one.
That's the best way of doing it.
Yeah, to and from work. So I said before we went to the break that I was going to say something about Joe Biden that might be a little controversial. And it also seems, while it might be controversial, I also think it might be the most obvious thing that nobody's actually really saying right now. I think Joe Biden is a really, really bad person. I'm not talking about who he is as a president. I'm not talking about who he is because he's a Democrat and I'm a Republican. If you look at the heart and soul of this man, I think Joe Biden is a bad man. I think Joe Biden is a bad leader. I think Joe Biden is a bad family man.
Oh, yeah.
I think Joe Biden is bad. And he's a bad president. But that's downstream. It really started to grate on me on the way into work today, listening to some of the coverage. And I took this pitch yesterday because, and I said this on the air, the ignorance or arrogance of Joe Biden's handling of September 11th is very frustrating for me. And I could go all in on it, but I'm not going to do that on September 11th because September 11th is not Joe Biden's day. It is not the right day to make points that will have political ramifications of some magnitude, probably teeny when I say it. I'm not going to spend a day that should be given to the remembrance of the people we lost in the country that we had to defend. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving it to Joe Biden. He doesn't get it. Now today, coming in and hearing about the deals that he's done, that he did yesterday, the Iranian deals, the Saudi Arabia situation. I'm going to just, I know like 50% of it, and Jim Carafano knows 100% of it, so we're going to talk to him. I'm going to ask Jim Carafano at 105. What major global statements did Joe Biden make on September 11th while he was in Alaska? And I'm just going to let Jim Carafano get it all out. Joe Biden is a bad person. And he was sold to you as an alternative to Donald Trump, which the people who are on the deranged left think that Donald Trump is the manifestation of a Satan that they probably don't even believe in. You are supposed to believe that Donald Trump is the worst piece of crap to have ever walked the face of the planet. And Joe Biden is Uncle Joe. He's a family man. He's relatable. He rides a train. Stop it. Joe Biden is a liar. Joe Biden is an embellisher. Joe Biden is a narcissist. Joe Biden cares only about Joe Biden. And if you want to peek behind the curtain and find out who Joe Biden is and how people feel about Joe Biden, we have documented evidence from his own family members of how they speak about him and the things that Joe Biden has done to them and with them. That is disgusting. Joe Biden is an enabler, and he has used every ounce of his presence in Washington, D.C. to make Joe Biden more enriched, more powerful, more wealthy. The entire time that Joe Biden has been in office has been for Joe Biden. He flip-flops his positions and his policies as soon as the wind changes. He stands for nothing except for Joe Biden. So when America was sold on this idea that Donald Trump had to be stopped, and it's not even about his policies because his policies are fantastic. And the record that Donald Trump's policies have had in this country are wildly successful. It's not about Donald Trump's policies. It's about Donald Trump, the person. He's a bad man. That's what they want you to believe. And the entire time you are being sold on relatable Uncle Joe Biden has been a trash person for the people he represents. And I just don't really understand why more people aren't saying that. Is it controversial for me to say that? Are people out there talking about Joe Biden being a bad person?
I mean, I've caught a bunch of flack for saying that. I think Joe Biden's a despicable human being because he uses everything that he does is for the purpose of Joe Biden. How can I improve Joe Biden? How can I improve my standing? How can I get more power? How can this help me out in the Senate? Blah, 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 blah. He has leveraged he's had some bad things happen to him in his life, but he has leveraged that and he lies about that to garner sympathy so that he can make more political moves to gain more power. I mean, my very first introduction into how bad of a person Joe Biden is as a person was whenever I was watching that Who is Hunter Biden documentary.
Yep.
And it was Hunter Biden's own words that really stuck out to me. And then you go back and you listen to Joe Biden talk about Beau. Joe Biden had a golden child and he favored Beau. And when you look back, if you know that, if you look at the way Joe talks about Beau and you've worked with families and you understand family dynamics and you look at the way Joe Biden talked about Beau and the gleam in his eye, Beau was the carrier of the family legacy and all of this other stuff. And then you look at Hunter's, just his behavior, leaving alone what he said. Hunter Biden is a younger child who was doing anything that he could trying to gain dad's approval, but couldn't get dad's approval, so then he was just trying to get dad's attention. And so then you look at the drug issues, the legal issues, the bad behavior. He doesn't care anymore, and so now he's trying to do anything that he can to say, hey, look at me. Hunter Biden's a troubled child, and everybody on the news will say that. You'll hear that from the mainstream media, but what they won't say is what you're saying. He is a troubled child because his father is a horrible father.
But it's even worse than that. You're exactly right in what you're saying. But when you look at Hunter Biden as a troubled soul and a troubled son, what does the media do? They use it as an opportunity to glorify Joe Biden as a loving father. They use it for political purpose.
No.
And he's an enabler. He's a disaster for Hunter Biden. And I will add to all of this, on the family connections, if you research any family connections about Joe Biden, what kind of man Joe Biden is, research how he met Jill.
Oh, gosh.
And when he met Jill. And the fact that his wife was killed in a car accident, search out the timeline. I won't even go into it. But, you know, if these things matter, if you're going to come talk to me about Melania Trump and Donald Trump and how Melania is a fourth wife, I don't even know. Can't count. There have been many of them. Do I support that? No, I don't support. I support getting married and staying married. That's not always the way it happens. But if you're going to sell to me the idea that Donald Trump's fidelity hasn't been peak top-notch American president worthy, and you're like, may I show you something in a Joe Biden? Hell no, you can't show me something in a Joe Biden. He's trash. Donald Trump, this is not, stop it. If you're sitting there saying, yeah, Annie, but Donald Trump, I'm not saying anything. Like, Donald Trump doesn't have a moral high ground here, but since we're comparing moral high grounds, we are in the basement. And so is the country. So if we're going to be in the basement with morally unethical fathers and husbands and dads or whatever, can we pick the person who won't ruin the country at the moment, who will build the country back up just once? Joe Biden's a bad guy.
Joe Biden's a horrible guy. And Donald Trump never lied to us and tried to paint himself as the family man.
Correct.
As the good guy, as the whatever. He painted himself exactly as he was, as the New York playboy bad boy. That's exactly how he painted himself.
With gold-plated toilets in his personal airplane. That's not even a private jet.
He wasn't Scranton Trump or whatever. He wasn't good old Joe, Uncle Joe. He wasn't any of that. When you look at their moral fiber, if you think that Donald Trump is a despicable person because of his moral fiber, you have to look at Joe Biden if you're intellectually honest and the evidence presented for you and come to the exact same conclusion, save one thing. Joe Biden has lied his entire career about who he really is.
Correct. And I'll add in here, If it's Trump, Biden, I have a Make America Great Again shirt. I have a Make America Great Again hat. I bought them in New York City because I want a New York City made red everything. If Donald Trump is running for office, make America great again. Again, go for it. Do it. In a primary, we have choices. And when it comes to those moral, ethical things, if they matter to somebody, we have other people who are running in a primary who have fortified those things about their lives a little bit more than I think Donald Trump does. But Donald Trump has the record to prove that he has the policies to get the stuff done. And honestly, almost completely, the rest of the people in the Republican Party have the same policies. We have a choice in a primary. If it matters to you, I like Ron DeSantis. I've never shied away from it. I don't like Ron DeSantis because I hate Donald Trump. I don't think that we have to live in the binary that the 7 people on Twitter who spend their entire days on Twixter trying to make sure that you understand how horrid of a person you are if you don't like the approved candidate. I don't succumb to your rules of engagement. If I vote for Ron DeSantis in the primary and he doesn't win, I'll absolutely vote for Donald Trump if he does. If Ron DeSantis isn't in the primary, I'll probably vote for Donald Trump. I don't know. Time will tell. We have some time. But Joe Biden sucks. That's pretty much the summation of this.
That will be the chapter title. Joe Biden sucks.
Yeah, and I just had to say it out loud. All right, let's take a quick break. Wiggins America. I don't know if it's a much calmer one. What's he talking about? I didn't see that. Oh, communication.
Yep.
And if we do it well, Ryan Wiggins is going to be the judge, jury, and executioner in here. So 3 of us will enter, 2 will leave. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Mars ain't the kind of place.
You can stretch your grocery dollars to go a little bit further at Ruler Foods. Do you know where the Ruler Foods is closest to you? If you don't, you go to rulerfoods.com and you type in the zip code that you are in, and you find the one that's closest to you. They have them all over the area. Let me tell you a quick few things that are on sale right now through September 19th. Red and white seedless grapes, 97 cents a pound. Pork steaks, assorted bone-in chops, or boneless thin pork chops, $3.47 a pound. Fry family favorite, Jack's Pizza, 2 for $6. And honestly, this is a side note, I really measure inflation by the cost of Jack's Pizzas specifically. That's a real thing. Right now, I want you to understand that you can help us support Princess Storm over at Hot 104.1, our sister station, and my friend Princess Storm, who did this amazing diaper drive for 2 years in a row. Last year, we partnered with her, and we're doing it again. And I want the Annie Frey Show faithful, the 97.1 faithful, to show up in really true strong force. You can donate and purchase diapers at any of the 10 Ruler Food area locations now through September 29th for the St. Louis Area Diaper Bank. Ruler Foods, low prices on the brands you love. Participate in the diaper drive this year. Please be as generous as you possibly can afford to. Find the Ruler Foods closest to you by rulerfoods.com.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie Siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
Together Credit Union is the official banking partner of St. Louis City SC, which means Together Credit Union is the only place to find the official City SC debit card, which comes with special perks. There's no cost for the City SC debit card, so don't wait and sign up today online at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
It's the big news of the day, and we want to know what you think. Do you support an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden? Yes or no? That is the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll of the day. Let us know what you think. We'll read the results at the end of the show. The time is 12:50. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Big ideas, real debate, solid entertainment. It's all here on St. Louis's home for conservative talk, 97.1 FM Talk.
Wiggins! Oh!
Wiggins! R-E-S-P-I-C-T for
Thank
Ryan
you,
Wiggins.
Mr. Sharpton.
I
Appreciate that.
absolutely respect you. That sounded foul. Is that okay? Can I say that?
Well, I've always known that you respected me.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Well, you're very respectable.
Thank you. You're right, Annie. I don't know what it is when you hear it. There's nothing wrong with it. When you say it, you're like, "Am I saying something wrong?" There's something wrong happening in my mouth.
I'm googling it right now. We might have to dump this whole segment.
R-E-S-P-I-C-T is what Al Sharpton said.
At Aretha Franklin's funeral.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Oh man. Can't write that stuff.
What I would like to know in this Wiggins America is whether or not you fancy yourself a persuasive person. Brad, do you think you're a persuasive person?
Depends on what I'm trying to persuade you to do.
Annie, I think you're a persuasive person, Annie. I'm just going to be on record as saying that. I have a lot of R-E-S-P-I-C-T
I would be so bad at my job if I weren't.
If you weren't, why would we be here? But I've got some tips here.
I was just on the radio every day, just like saying facts of things. Like, well, not trying to change anybody's opinion on anything here. I just want you to know that I'm holding a piece of paper right now.
That's actually on this list. So
Which is actually not even true.
I want to share some things with you if you are listening right now and you're like, you know what? I want to be more like Annie.
Yeah.
I want to be more persuasive. These are things that can help you. And I'll start kind of in the middle since you just mentioned that one. Number 6 is don't reel off statistics or abstract concepts. That is pretty much all I do on my show.
Yeah, that's rough, dude, because that is terrible persuasion.
Studies have found that people are more inclined to understand, remember, and accept sticky ideas.
Can I comment on why I think that's a bad idea and see if is there more to the explanation there?
Yes, but I'm sure you already know what it's going to be. That sounded terrible.
That sounded judgmental. Maybe not.
I was more commenting on the story
I
than I was
was just
on
trying to see if I could scoop the point to see if I understand why not to do that.
I agree. You should do that.
I would say that if you're going heavy into abstract things and trying to be very like statistical, it sounds like you're talking down to people. And if you're trying to thump people in the head with all of these it's not relationable. It's just not a word. word.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep. I mean, what you're describing is sticky ideas, stuff that's going to stick with people beyond the moment that they're hearing it, and usually stats don't.
Right.
It doesn't mean you couldn't use statistics.
No, of course. I love using them.
But you're not going to spout a bunch of statistics and then have someone go, I see your point.
Yeah, when you're talking about sticky ideas, you need to have something resonate with somebody. So to stick, it has to strike an emotional chord as well as it being truthful.
Yeah, and it says use personal stories more. That's one of the things that people tell us in radio. Use personal stories to tell your story about other stories. How about this one? Using power words with intention. Power words like proven, easy, and new. Power words evoke a strong emotion in listeners and readers, and sometimes without them even knowing it.
Yes. You've persuaded me.
That one and another one too, that number 4 here, it says, refer to the person you're talking to by name. People like hearing their own name. It makes them feel like you really see them.
Yes, Ryan Williams.
And that they're important to you. Thank you. I am, A, terrible at this. And B...
Is this for you?
Yeah, this is an intervention for me.
Ryan
when I see
uses
this,
the term fella a lot when he's talking to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, hi, Ryan. He's like, hey.
Hey, you.
Fella.
What's that guy's name? Brian?
Hey, Kragers. This is... the problem is that I've met people, and tell me if you have, because I don't know if I notice this more than the average person or not, but when somebody's using these tactics, and the name is one of them, a really firm, look-you-in-the-eye handshake is another one. If they're using them and you can tell that they're tactics, isn't that lame?
It's yucky.
Isn't it? Okay, good. Good, because when I experience that, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, that makes me want to do mouth noises like...
Exactly.
Well, I hate all of that.
Well, thank you, Annie Frey.
Okay, Ryan.
Last one is ask
Wigglesworth.
rhetorical questions. Rhetorical questions that don't need an answer but can have one, get people thinking. Do you do that, Annie?
That's a real question. That's not rhetorical.
I
don't know what to do here. I feel like if I answer it, I've killed your segment. I'm panicking.
A rhetorical question, Ryan, has to have the answer in the question.
Ah.
Like, Annie, you do that, don't you?
That's what I meant to say. Annie, you do this kind of thing.
You can't say that and then pause and wait for me to respond and have it be rhetorical.
Brad, I'm right here, right?
If I were to have started the last segment with, Joe Biden's a real trash human, right? And then gone into a conversation about why I think that would have been more rhetorical. If I would have paused and waited for Brad's answer, that's just a question.
If you had done that, more people would have paid attention and listened, and you would have persuaded them.
I did do that, and you weren't listening.
That's not my fault. I was super busy.
I also don't know if I did that. Jim Carafano on Joe Biden's September 11th. We'll be right back.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
This planet is so incredibly beautiful that I can't get enough of it. I did 950 miles on the Pacific Crest Trail, and Good Feet was with me all the way. Your passion's important, but if your body aches and if your heel feels like you've got a nail stuck in it and won't come out, trust me, it's going to wear you down. The Good Feet store knew what they were talking about and took the time to really dial in what I needed. I hiked 84 miles in the Himalaya and to do it pain-free. You think I'm not grateful for Good Feet?
Get ready for your summer adventures. Come to the Good Feet store today. Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive west of I-270 in the Plaza with Subway or in Shiloh, Illinois across from Deerbergs.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com.
You deserve comfort in your life. Come in for your free test walk today.
It's a good experience because they're great people to be around. Fountains Family Dentistry, when you walk in the door, you're going to realize these people like each other. I don't know if you were, this wasn't the plan of this live, but I'm telling you, I've walked in a doctor's office before where you go, there's a weird feeling in this room where like people are fighting and they don't want to let you know. That is never the case. Fountains Family Dentistry, everybody gets along. They're all kind of there to serve, and you'll experience that when you get there, that there is a top-down mentality of service, and they are there late certain days, early certain days, all to accommodate your schedule. I say that many, many times, but they do everything there. That's the point of this segment, is to say that they do general dental procedures there. They do advanced dentistry, cosmetic dentistry, all under one roof, so that if you ever need things beyond just your general cleaning, which you definitely should start with, they will do it all there. They don't have to outsource everything all the time to other people, because you can do it all on one roof. So visit Fountains Family Dentistry. You can find them online, fountains.familydentistry.com.
Attention business owners, this is John Souza, CEO of ERTC.com. The Employee Retention Tax Credit Program provides up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. If you're confused about the program, stop right now before it's too late. Don't fall for false promises and risk your business. All ERTC companies are not the same. The bottom line, there's no such thing as guaranteed eligibility, and being innovative with tax filings can lead to an audit. At ERTC.com, we won't mislead you to attest to your own eligibility. At ERTC.com, everything is done in-house by expert CPAs, and there's no cost to get started. With the ERTC.com Fast Track Refund Program, you may qualify to get your refund in as soon as 48 hours. Get started today at ERTC.com.
Get your free refund information now. 800-200-9080. 800-200-9080. That's 800-200-9080.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
House Republicans make a move on Lisa Brady, Fox News, taking their probe of the president to another level.
Speaker Kevin McCarthy announcing a formal impeachment inquiry over allegations President Biden may have profited off of his son Hunter's overseas business dealings while he was vice president.
These are allegations of abuse of power, obstruction, and corruption, and they warrant further investigation.
Republicans have argued that an inquiry will give members more power to investigate the Biden family and to get more information. A White House spokesman hitting back, calling the GOP-led inquiry, quote, extreme politics at its worst.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on Capitol Hill. The State Department is defending a prisoner swap deal that includes unfreezing $6 billion in Iranian money. Under the deal, Tehran would free 5 American detainees, and Washington would release 5 detained Iranians.
Iran is not going to release these American citizens out of the goodness of their heart. That is not real life. That is not how this works. That was never going to happen. We have to make tough choices and engage in tough negotiations to bring these American citizens home.
But State Department spokesman Matthew Miller says the U.S. policy against paying ransom has not changed, also suggesting more oversight in this arrangement than in previous spending by Iran from other accounts, also intended only for humanitarian purposes. State police have a new perimeter for the search of escaped killer Danilo Cavalcante in Pennsylvania after he stole a gun last night from a garage where a homeowner shot at him.
Things have escalated far more now that we know that Cavalcante has that .22 caliber rifle. About 300 yards down this street is where Cavalcante dumped that stolen van that helped him breach that original perimeter near Longwood Gardens. And another big takeaway from Lieutenant Colonel Bivens that I just heard is they have no reason to believe that Cavalcante is injured.
Fox's Nate Foy. It is day 13 of the search. America is listening to Fox News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The northwest flow has pushed the unsettled weather out. We've got mostly sunny skies this afternoon, 75 for the high. Tonight, clear and chilly. Temperatures this evening drop into the upper 60s and 52 for the low. Let's just make it simple for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Lots of sunshine, nice, comfortable, 78 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
97.1 FM Talk. You're here because you're done playing by their rules. St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
Hello, I am Missouri State Treasurer Vivek Malik. How would you like a tax break and help kids? You can with the Most Scholars program. When you make a donation to Most Scholars to provide scholarships, you can cut up to half of your state income taxes. The Most Scholars tax credit is available for individuals and businesses. Learn more by going to mostscholars.com, or you may call 573-751-8533.
Sponsored by the Missouri State Treasurer's Office.
TheDiamondShop.net. Have you gone to visit the website yet? There's a smart reason to do that. It is so that you can become a VIP. When you are a Diamond Shop VIP, they're located family-owned and operated jewelry shop right here in St. Louis, specifically in Clayton. When you become a VIP, you get access to great savings on top of other great savings that they already have right now, like all month in September, 30% off all in-stock diamond jewelry and engagement rings. Become a Diamond Shop VIP. Save an extra 10%. Let me throw in here that reminder that they do 6 months, same as cash. So if you're looking to get something for Christmas, maybe Valentine's Day, and it's going to be a bigger purchase, maybe this is the right time to go in and check out those engagement rings and the diamond jewelry that they have in stock, because 30% savings with an extra 10% when you become a VIP and 6 months, same as cash. That becomes a very affordable situation for you. They're going to work with you to help you find exactly what you're looking for, especially September 21st. They have a sip and shop event with 40% off all sapphire jewelry and extra 10% for VIPs. Learn all about the details online at thediamondshop.net.
Replacing your windows should be stress-free and add value to your home. Infinity from Marvin Windows are your best choice. Made with Ultrex fiberglass, 8 times stronger than vinyl, low maintenance and available in many colors. And we leave your home spotless. Schedule your free design consultation by calling Lakeside Renovation and Design at 636-978-5000 or online at lakesiderenovationanddesign.com.
This station is now conducting a test of the emergency alert system.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today. That's youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Tuesday. Beautiful Tuesday here in St. Louis. Hope you're enjoying the afternoon. I was watching the reaction today specifically because yesterday I said I was not going to go in on Joe Biden and his choices on September 11th. Remembering September 11th is too important to get wrapped up in very justified criticisms of Joe Biden and his, in my opinion, incredibly gross mishandling of that day and then engaging in the global foreign policy actions that he did. Here are his remarks on the day.
Governor Dunleavy, it's good to see you. Governor and I have something in common. We're both from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I wish I had him playing in my high school ball club when I was playing. But I could have been an All-American having you in front of me.
You know, really right now, my only concern, President Biden, is that you would be All-American as the President of the United States. You are not an All-American there either. There were some major global news headlines that came out of yesterday. Why we're talking about the Iran situation, Saudi Arabia situation on September 11th, it befuddles me. Maybe Jim Carafano has an explanation for it. He's a senior counselor to the president and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation. Jim, were you as disgusted by the actions of our president and our federal government yesterday as I was?
Well, you know, a lot of people said, well, Iran didn't plan 9/11. I mean, look, this kind of misses the point. Iran, by the admission of Biden's own State Department, is the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism. Just the other day, the Israelis released evidence of dozens of assassination plots that the Iranians had around the world. And so to be kind of giving this regime the get out of jail free card and embracing them and rewarding them for giving back people which essentially they kidnapped. I mean, I just think any day of the week it sends all the wrong signals, but I could understand why on September 11th it just seemed incredibly inappropriate. It's like having a funeral on Christmas Eve or something.
Yeah. I mean, I'm grossly frustrated by his absence from one of the multiple sites that the president could be present at on September 11th. He's in Alaska. And I asked this question yesterday of a different guest. I want to ask it to you as well. Kamala Harris was at the 9/11 memorial in New York City. I'm curious, Jim Carafano, if you think that did Kamala Harris get the A assignment for the administration that day or the B assignment? And if it's the B assignment, how did the 9/11 memorial become the B assignment?
Well, you know, I would say, I mean, if you take out a map, look, I do think that it was great that the president went to the G20 in Delhi. A lot of good things happened there. I also think it is great that the president went to Vietnam. Building a stronger relationship with Vietnam is also in U.S. interest. So I wouldn't begrudge either of those things. But the fact that you couldn't scramble that agenda just a little bit, maybe do Vietnam on the front end and get the president back for, you know, arguably the most catastrophic and wrenching event in American history since Pearl Harbor, and get him either at the well, first of all, I think these sites are equally, all three sites, the one in Pennsylvania where the plane was brought down, New York where the most lives were lost, but also Washington, D.C. to hit the country literally in its own backyard. All three of those sites are equally worthy of veneration and appropriate for a president to be either one of them. So, look, you watch. You know, this president figured out, you know, you have to cover all these academy graduations, the Naval Academy, Coast Guard Academy, Army, you know, Air Force. They always figure out how to way to get the president one of them. But the notion they couldn't, because there's more than one academy, but the notion they couldn't get the president one of these three sites, there's just something that doesn't taste right there. I mean, right. I mean, you can look at a calendar. And I don't know if it's the chief of staff or the president or somebody else, but somebody made a decision that this just wasn't important enough to figure out. And I think that's just wrong.
Yeah, I feel like the September 11th date on your calendar doesn't sneak up on you. And when you're going, put something else on that calendar that's going to put you very far away from those obvious locations, which Washington, D.C. and the Pentagon is not a difficult amount of,
exactly.
ground to cover, that it could be more convenient based on the schedule. But it seems to me that there's an active decision that is made when you schedule something else on that date. And then in turn, you also announce this deal releasing the funds, for the $6 billion to Iran, and then also the statement about Saudi Arabia. It just seems purposeful and intentional.
I mean, it just seemed like 12 hours away from, between getting the president in Washington. It just doesn't seem right. And at a time when our border is more open than it's ever been, where we're actually more vulnerable to a terrorist attack today, 20 years after establishing the Department of Homeland Security and everything else, the fact that terrorists have more opportunity today to pull off a 9/11 than they did on 9/11, and you have a president who demonstrably says he doesn't really care about 9/11, it just politically sends all the wrong signals. Here's what's more disturbing to me, maybe the most disturbing thing of all. We were heading into a president. I do policy, not politics, but we're heading into a presidential election when everything a president increasingly does is under the microscope. Remember, they spent weeks running around the country telling us all how Bidenomics was good for the economy. But the fact that they think that 80, 90, 100 million people are going to vote for them and not be offended by the president blowing off 9/11, something's wrong there. Either half this country is really beneath contempt, or the president treats his own voters beneath contempt. Is that unfair?
Yeah, Jim Carafano with us right now with the Heritage Foundation. The thing that I find so distasteful about his inability to be present and to properly acknowledge that day is that post 9/11, this country has had a very conflicting view about how we responded and what we did and where we went. And the finality of the period on the sentence of the Iraq War, the Afghanistan War, the War on Terror, the whole thing is Joe Biden's worst moment as the president of the United States in what he did to our 13 Americans in the Afghanistan pullout. He owns the ending, and it was a devastating ending for this country, and I think for many of the people who served in that conflict to now look at what they did and what they contributed and ask themselves, what did I do? To ignore 9/11 to me seems even more insulting to those individuals.
Well, I think it is and again, I'm not political, I'm not partisan, I don't even belong to a political party. I think it's not wrong to say that regardless of what you thought about Afghanistan and our mission there and how long it went on, how it was prosecuted and everything else, the reality is Biden in his withdrawal gave the Taliban and Al-Qaeda a get out of jail free card. And these are the people that enabled 9/11 to happen. And everything they've done since the day they've been in power in Afghanistan after Biden's withdrawal has not lessened the concern that them or ISIS is also present in Afghanistan won't try this again someday.
You mentioned the southern border. It's been a repetitive topic of conversation between you and me on this show for a long time, years and years. And you keep talking about how dangerous it is for these people to be able to flood in our country and then go without supervision, and they don't have to adhere to any system, obviously, by virtue of how they even came into the country. When you look at what's going on in New York City with Mayor Adams and his pushback, he's not really pushing back vocally on President Biden. He's still calling Governor Abbott from Texas a madman. Is there progress being made right now in a more bipartisan effort to get this under control?
No, and look, I would say that there's this kind of mythology that because Abbott and DeSantis put some people in a bus in Southern New York that's what's Then the reality is no. Actually, most of the illegal immigrants that are in Chicago or New York or California were shipped there by the Biden administration. Many of them using NGOs who are supposed to be there to help refugees and other things like that, as in one of the world's largest human trafficking networks. So the reason Adams' city is underwater is two. Is one, they declared that this is a welcome zone for illegal aliens, and two, a lot of them went there. Yeah. So if you're going to blame people, blame the mayor and blame Joe Biden.
Do you feel as though, from the voter standpoint, from people who you talk to, I know you've been to St. Louis and you talk to people who come to that event because they want to hear what you have to say. You're traveling the world. Do you feel like the issue of the border is transcending politics, where people are being more interested in who's in charge of which policy?
I think there are a handful of issues which have really gotten to the core of Americans and actually transcended, whether they have an R or a D on their name. I think energy is one of them, because at the end of the day, I think we all realize we want reliable, affordable energy. I think crime's one. I think border immigration is one. And I think this whole kind of family of woke policies, whether it has to do with gender or other issues, is one where people, I think, do see these kind of two very different paths for America and realize that they have to choose, and that these paths take us to very, very different places. And so whether it's the economy or energy or immigration or border or woke, I do think Americans recognize that their choice will, on these issues and where people are in these issues, are going to change what their future looks like.
Last question before we let you go. We're speaking with our friend Jim Carafano, who's the senior counselor to the president and E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation. The president made a trip and went to the G20 summit. He was in Hanoi, and he was faced with a lot of opportunities to speak publicly. The cameras catch him talking. He is confused. He is tired. He is rambling. It's embarrassing to watch it, and there is an actual part of, I think, a lot of Americans feel some sympathy, or potentially, if they have a loved one who has behaved this way, empathy towards his actions. What kind of result does that performance from the President of the United States have on our ability to do business and to protect our country around the world?
Well, I think this is an interesting trend that we've talked about before. I mean, good things happened at the G20. I mean, good things happen in kind of building up the relationship with Vietnam. The U.S. should be reengaging in the Middle East. What they all have in common is everywhere in the world where policies are kind of trending in the right direction, in the Indo-Pacific, in some places in Europe and the Middle East, it's because we have allies pulling us forward to do the right thing. And that says that these countries make a distinction between who's sitting in the White House and America, and that they recognize that regardless of who the president is, America is their partner of choice, whether it's dealing with China or other global issues, and that they want to work with the United States, and they're willing to bet on the future and future American leadership, because I don't disagree with you. I've and again, not partisan, not political. I talk to people all over the world. Lots of people in public, it's very hard to find a lot of people say a bad thing about Joe Biden because, they need America and they want America's support and everything else. But in private, nobody will tell you that this is FDR or Eisenhower or Ronald Reagan, right? Nobody says this is one of the outstanding presidents of our time. They all kind of look at you and just kind of go, oh, poor Americans. But that's the reality of the leadership we have today. And that's not me. This is the feedback. I don't have to tell you a story. I was talking to some folks from Latin America. I was asking them, what's the biggest challenge that you face? And they shocked me. They said, you.
Oh.
They said, we know what to expect from the Chinese and the Russians and the Iranians and Hezbollah and the cartels. We know what they're trying to do. But we used to think America was our friend, that America's here to work with us. And when you show up and all you have is an ambassador who wants to talk about the LGBTQ agenda and doesn't care about the real needs of our people and our real joint concerns, that to us is the most demoralizing thing that we see.
Man, that is so disappointing. Well, we got to keep our eyes focused on it and keep talking about it, and that's why we love having you back each week, Jim. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, always a pleasure. Senior Counselor to the President and the E.W. Richardson Fellow for International Engagement at the Heritage Foundation, Jim Carafano. Right now I'm looking at the Fox News headline, 146 terror suspects apprehended at border in fiscal year 23. 146 terror suspects. You listen to Jim Carafano, he's been repeating that line for quite some time now. We are more at danger for another 9/11 scenario to happen than we've ever been before. Something has to change. We have to start valuing the sovereignty of our country, and it starts at our southern border. We're going to take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show when we return. Get on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Come say hi in the comments. We would love to speak to you and say hello to new friends and old, or maybe just experienced is the better way to put it. And vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Do you support an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden? Yes or no? We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
I want to talk to you about Jen Teskey as a realtor. She's with RE/MAX Alliance, jenteskeyhomes.com. I want to talk to you about Jen Teskey as a person. She is an incredible person, and she is nails when it comes to real estate. When you are looking to buy or sell a home on the Illinois side of the river and you hire Jen Teskey and the Jen Teskey team to sell your home or to help you find the house to make your dream home, you have made an incredibly wise decision. She gives what she calls the big sister treatment to you, with her whole team working their tails off to make sure you have the best positive experience through the process. She does that from the beginning to the end. That means you're going to get her honesty, integrity, and transparency so that you can make the right decision for your family. She's not in business to make just the right decisions for herself, because she knows that's not a business principle that has longevity. She has built up such an incredible reputation at Jen Teskey with RE/MAX Alliance by doing the right thing for you. So if you are in the business or in the market for a home and you're looking to make a purchase, or if you've been thinking even slightly or dramatically about selling your home, you want Jen Teskey. 618-541-1010. You can call Jen Teskey and her team at 618-541-1010. You can find her online right now at jenteskeyhomes.com.
Okay, so you filed your taxes this year, but you know you have past IRS issues. And now the IRS letters are coming. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Don't ignore those IRS letters. They're important and give you rights and deadlines to defend yourself. Waiting could cause you to lose those rights. Call the Lance Story Law Firm now and let us help you get ahead of the IRS and defend your rights while you still have time. The Lance Story Law Firm is located here in St. Louis, so take the first step and hire a tax resolution attorney. We've made it super easy to schedule your free consultation in person, or you can do a phone call and save travel time. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm. Call today at 314-238-7360. That's 314-238-7360. Or go visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Get a pen. You'll want to take this number down. Okay, you have health insurance, or you don't have health insurance, but you want health insurance at a reasonable price, right? Well, you won't find it with Obamacare, where you can only sign up once a year with their high deductibles and limited networks. You need to talk to an expert. Kim Kiefer at H&L Agency can help if you pay for your own health insurance, or your employment coverage is just unaffordable, or if you have a few employees, you could be saving 30 to 60% if you qualify. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. Go to hnlagency.org and get a quote today. We all need quality health insurance at an affordable price. Call Kim at 800-975-2841. That's 800-975-2841. Or go to hnlagency.org. And is spelled out. That's hnlagency.org. A quality plan managed by you, not the government.
And paid for by Case Legal Media. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between August 1953 and December of 1987? You may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those on the Marine Corps-based Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. Until now, now, North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve. But passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file a lawsuit seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation, 800-291-3576. Don't wait. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-291-3576. That's 800-291-3576. Again, 800-291-3576.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save up to 20% on a new HVAC system when you bundle it with attic insulation. 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated. For a free estimate on attic insulation, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Frank Cusimano.
Bill DeWitt worth $4 billion. He's been our best owner in St. Louis sports history. Is it okay for him to die with $3.8 billion and then bring great baseball back to St. Louis? It's okay with me.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
AC and DC. Is it?
Nope.
God dang it, you're lying.
I'm not lying.
Kiss?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even cheat. I listen to Sirius satellite radio a lot because I listen to Fox News on that if I'm coming and going all the time. And the fact that they have their music up on the screen, the song and the title name is the only way that I will have a clue about these things.
I get it. There's a lot of songs that I really, really like that I never took the time to figure out who sang
Does
them.
AC/DC sound entirely different than Kiss?
Yes.
Oh, gosh dang.
Yeah, the lead singer sounds like an angry Donald Duck sometimes.
Oh, I will remember that. Name a song that AC/DC sings.
You Shook Me All Night Long. Thunderstruck.
Ew!
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was
that
actually
sounds exactly the same as Kiss.
There are
to me.
actually two different lead singers for AC/DC, and one of them sounds a little more.
Is
Donald.
one of them AC and one of them DC?
No,
Darn
the one passed away, and then they had to replace him.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
That took a turn. We were just got done speaking with Jim Carafano, and he kind of shifted. I asked the question about Joe Biden on the world stage.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't really answer the question.
Mm-mm.
He basically said there were good things that happened, and what I took from that is that when Joe Biden is a disaster overseas, the good things don't get reported on because everybody talks about Joe Biden.
Yeah, that'd be accurate. I mean, the bad things overshadow the good things. You could, what is it? If you hit a home run to tie the game, but then the other team takes the lead, and then you strike out with the bases loaded, they're only going to remember the strikeout.
Are you the
Not the
hero or the, yeah. Can I tell you about my son's baseball game yesterday?
Yeah.
You texted me and you said, are they playing or is it raining? My response?
Yes.
I mean, it was sprinkling, but it's grade school baseball at a Lutheran school. We have fourth graders playing on a baseball team that my son is an eighth grader, where eighth graders are playing.
That's a huge gap in
It's a huge
maturity and development.
Yes, specifically. I mean, I don't know that there's any maturity that is traversed in that amount of age. I challenge that suggestion. Physical maturity.
Yes.
And development.
Yes.
Significantly so.
Yeah.
We played Thursday. Is that right? I gotta check my calendar. What day is today? Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday.
We played Thursday. Wait. No, Wednesday. I've got too many sports on my calendar. We played Wednesday against a small schools conglomerate team. So there's a lot of little schools, but they all partner together kind of as a co-op and then play together so that they get to play. Yeah, especially when you're talking about baseball. It requires so many kids.
So many kids.
So we played Wednesday against this this conglomerate small schools team. And then we played in a tournament this weekend, 1 game on Friday, 2 games on Saturday. And then we had a game against small schools on yesterday. We also played the small schools in the tournament. So we played this team 3 games in a row. And in 6 days, we played 5 games on a team that has down to 4th graders on it. So yesterday when we played this game, I'm very protective of my son's arm in pitching because he's competitive and he's learning to pitch. He's not a pitcher yet, but he has talent and potential. Parents out there are like, I know what she's saying. He throws hard, but you're throwing hard against other teams that have 4th graders on it. So as a mom, I'm like, oh my gosh, like don't hurt anybody. And he hasn't yet. So we're playing this team yesterday. We didn't have any pitching left. So we're putting out these young kids, and so is the other team. So I mean, it is what it is.
Terrible idea.
Well, it is what it is. It's just like, and then it's raining, sort of, and I'm sitting out there going, oh my gosh, we are down 11-1.
Oh no.
And I'm sitting here going, why are we doing this? And then, as is the case in a lot of youth baseball, once you get a little bit deep into whoever's pitching, I mean, we had 4th graders pitching, and they were throwing like 20 pitches a time, like per outing. We had multiple people in there, so nobody was overworking their arm. And everybody did a really good job of managing and caring more about the kid than you care about the instance. You know, you're not winning the World Series here or losing it. And we were down 11-1, and we came back and tied it 11-11, and then the time ran out. And we died. So you play your 5th game in 6 days so that you can tie 11-11 in the rain. It wasn't bad. I was actually really, I think that honestly, in that instance, an 11-11 tie was probably the most politically palpable thing for everybody there. And we were the home team, and we got tied to 11, and then they're like, do we play another inning? And we're all going, no, stop right there.
Yeah.
11-11, and you end in a tie. It was something else. One umpire is just like, you're sitting out there and you're just thinking, nobody get hurt, nobody get hurt, nobody get hurt.
And that type of weather that we had yesterday is like prime get hurt kind of weather because it's just wet enough to slip, but then you'll find spots to grip. So you go from a slip to a grip or a grip to a slip, and then you're hurt.
Yeah. It never rained that hard where we were. The field could have probably used a little more rain, honestly, but it just was, it all is well that ends well. So the calendar situation that I have in my family right now is pretty intense, and we are in a constant state of like, all right, eyes on me. And then I'm going through the list of who's doing what and when, and I'm like, I need eye contact when I tell you need to be at this place at this time at 3:30 p.m., so on and so forth. And then eventually I forget something. We had an instance at the end of the week last week where my husband thought that there wasn't volleyball practice. There was volleyball practice. He told my daughter there wasn't volleyball practice. She was telling people at school there's no volleyball practice. She was wrong. She felt terrible. It's just like we're all just trying to get by. It's a lot.
A stacked calendar is not an easy thing to deal with, especially whenever you've got, like in your case, it's kids and sports. That stuff starts running together and melding together, and then you're like, it's this time at that time. No, wait, was that the baseball team or was that the volleyball team? So yeah.
I can like flash by the camera here, my calendar. That's what it looks like. It's just a lot of things. Trying to make it work. And in the midst of all of this, trying to stay up to date on all of the ins and outs of political developments. And I have to constantly remind myself that most people who are living that lifestyle, like I am, every soccer mom or soccer dad, or, you work a challenging job and you go through waves of putting in a lot of hours and not really being able to adapt to what the news cycle is going on. We're wringing our hands and worrying about this thing that this person said or that thing that that person did, like the YouTube live chat poll, do you support an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden? I don't know that if I didn't do this for a living, that I would even know what we were talking about.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, whenever you've got, especially like a calendar like yours, and I don't think that your calendar is unique to parents.
No, it's just, I mean, and it's not, it's not really particularly exciting. It's just very busy.
It's busy. And there's so much going on that like your memory or your attention is like a tennis ball tube, and it can only hold so many tennis balls. And when you push one in, one pops out the other side. So you can only focus on so many things. And I don't think that impeachment inquiry on Joe Biden is something that would break through for the average person.
Lauren on Facebook says, no parent needs to be that busy. You are priding yourself on how many things you can do. As much as you complain, you love to complain about being busy by staying busy. I regret that that's the way you've interpreted that. I happen to have 4 kids whom I love dearly who want to participate in things.
Mm-hmm.
And as their parent, it's my responsibility to make it so that they can have opportunities and that I get them there. I'm not angry about it. It's just very busy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand, like, for Lauren to say no parent needs to be that busy, I guess it sounds to you like I'm complaining about it. I'm not really complaining about it. I'm just saying it's a statement of fact, really to make the point that when people are particularly this committed to being in a lot of places at a lot of time, I mean, my life isn't complicated. I mean, maybe from a like planning way, like how to make sure everybody gets where they need to be, it's complicated. But I mean, when I'm talking about grade school baseball games and volleyball games and gymnastics and so on and so forth, I just want to give my kids opportunity. And I just can't imagine being like, well, this would make me too busy as a parent, so you're going to have to not play that sport.
Well, and it's not like your kids are playing multiple sports per kid. You've got each kid that seems to be just playing one sport at a time. There's not overlap. So your son plays baseball, your daughter plays volleyball, your other daughter does gymnastics. You know, it just overlaps, and it's the seasons that are overlapping, not necessarily that you're overburdening those kids with anything.
Yeah. No parent needs to be that busy. I mean, like, I would add in that we have dinner at home around our kitchen table 5 out of 7 nights a week.
That's solid.
We have our extended family over to have brunch with us on Sundays and spend time with family. We go to church on Sundays together. I mean, I think that the idea of being too busy is when you start prioritizing the things over the people.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly don't feel like that's my problem.
I wouldn't think that.
And you've seen it up close.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Lauren. I'm definitely not perfect and don't claim to be, and I am sorry that I have let you down. But in the meantime, I don't think I let my kids down, so I'm just going to take that as a dub.
That's a W, yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show when we return. The YouTube live chat poll, do you support an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden? Yes or no? We'll be right back.
And you drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
C.A. Jones is there to help make sure that your house that you've been seeking out is exactly the way you want it to be, because they're home builders and they build some absolutely beautiful homes on the Illinois side of the river. North to south, they have quite a lot of ground that they cover in areas that they're building. They offer solar to new and existing homes. You can receive an instantaneous payback on your solar savings, saving you $1,000 on a 4.2 kilowatt solar system. They also offer a solar builder pack that includes a roof-mounted solar system with micro inverters, and you can receive money back then for buying the system. They also work very hard to invest in the communities that they're building in. They support military and first responder efforts. They are offering veterans, active, and first responder specials on new homes as well, including solar and remodels. C.A. Jones is there to help you with your home building needs. You can go online and you can check out the many options of buildable plans that they have, modern features available to you at an affordable cost. If you've been thinking about building a home on the Illinois side of the river, reach out to C.A. Jones and see how they can help you. You'll be glad you did. Online at cajonesinc.com.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands to treat ED at up to 95% off. That's right, the same active ingredient as the brand name for 95% less. It's the same ED medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. Have questions after being injured in an accident? We'll match you with the Onder Law team that's right for you and your case.
Onder Law. Call 314 or 618-9000 to learn more.
Mark Cox here. You know, I love to talk about my friend Grillmaster Tony, grillmastertony.com, and I love to eat his food. Here's what you need to know. He's got an end-of-summer pork extravaganza that he's offering. You pick the pork. He's got pulled pork, pork steaks, baby back ribs. You pick 3 sides to go along with it, maybe the Gouda mac and cheese or the potato salad, and then bread from Pizza Italian Bakery on the Hill. Now I'm hungry. Order today online at grillmastertony.com.
We want to know the answer to this question. Do you support an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden? Yes or no? That is today's Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. Let us know what you think. We'll read the results at the end of the show along with your comments. It's 1:45 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
The voice for hardworking, free-thinking Americans.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
You're listening to 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
Many days fell away with nothing to show, and the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. Great clouds all over the hills, bringing darkness from above. But if you close your eyes.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's Tuesday. What day does it feel like?
Oh, I would say Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Feels like should definitely not be the beginning of the week still.
I was thinking that when you asked me that last segment, Andy. I was like, man, as short as last week felt, this one feels as long. I felt like yesterday was like 2 days.
I just came across something on Twitter that I need to look into more or less. It's hard to figure out.
Now we're all intrigued.
How are you a spicy food person?
I am.
Can you handle spicy foods well?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Doesn't bother you? What about you, Ryan?
I pretend that I am until I eat it. So
This is shocking.
Yeah. I like the idea of being a spicy foods person. I will even try the spicy food, and then I regret it. I can't handle it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like anything spicy? Do you like spicy food?
If you ask me, like, do I like it? The answer is yes. Then I go beyond my means. Brad can attest to this. He actually can eat a lot of spicy food. And when I go to keep up with Brad, I can't do it.
Do you do you feel, is there a masculinity thing? Like, if you were to say, I don't know, it's too spicy for me, is that a dude thing where you're like, I can't be like?
Yeah.
Is it? Do you feel like less of a man? Like, is it
reasons-
a challenge?
Yes. Because I think that's one of the reasons that I say that I can handle it more than I can. But I really do like the taste if it's got the right balance. But beyond that balance, I can't do it.
Is there any sort of masculinity measure, testosterone point that you feel like? Yeah, it's Italian.
And meatballs.
Testosterone.
No.
Is there, Brad? There's no part about eating something super spicy that makes you feel like a man.
No.
I don't believe it.
It is
I don't believe
all
either.
about flavor for me.
I feel like a man when I eat super spicy
You
things.
should.
Because I don't, like, if it didn't taste good, I wouldn't do it. Honestly. Because, like, why would...
I hear you say
I,
that.
like, I don't eat pineapple for that very reason. Like, pineapple...
Because it's too spicy?
Not because it's too
Makes it feel
spicy,
like a
but it
girl.
gives, like...
Acid.
It's acidic, and it hurts my mouth. So I don't want to eat food that hurts my mouth if the flavor's not good enough.
Brian, you do acid. What do you think?
When on
Acidic.
acid, everything tastes good. I can tell you that. When off of it, I can't handle spice.
My kids refer to cinnamon toothpaste as spicy.
Okay, thank you for bringing up this topic because my brother is like Mr. Man's man. He's an electrician. He's like
Cinnamon
works with his
toothpaste?
hands. He works on elevators. Like just does physical labor. Strong dude.
You know, man's man.
Big
Elevators.
strong guy.
Yeah, big strong guy. Pete Alonso. So he is, and he loves eating spicy food. And so he always is like, look, I can eat more spicy food than you. Just acknowledge it. So it's definitely a man's thing. But I told him once, I bet I can find something that's too spicy for you because he's like, oh, I can do ghost pepper and all this stuff. But I said, I can find something that you can't eat. It's in that cinnamon category. Nobody thinks about that way of spice, but that does get really
cinnamon is
intense.
literally a spice.
Yes, yes. Everybody's like pepper hot. No. If you haven't done the cinnamon side hot, try that.
What is it?
It's if you can like condense cinnamon down to its purest form, you can get it to where it's so hot that it hurts your tongue to eat.
Do you still do it? Hot tamales. I love hot tamales.
That's
The candy.
pepper hot. Oh.
No.
Okay.
Not real tamales.
Okay.
Hot tamales.
Okay.
Swedish fish.
Like
I've done-
Swedish fish aren't
It's
spicy.
cinnamon, isn't it?
No, it's like cherry.
Yeah.
I thought
Unless
they were
there's
cinnamon.
some different
Maybe
type
that's
of
what I
Swedish
Swedish fish, as a rule, are just like a cherry flavored gummy.
Yeah. And they're fantastic.
But hot tamales have a little bite to them.
and that's a cinnamon thing,
yeah,
right?
that's what you're talking about, I think.
Okay. No, I've had a dropper, an eyedropper that you could put into a little bottle and put on your tongue of that cinnamon spice just to see how many you could handle. And it's like a challenge thing where you could do, how many drops can you do? I can do 1 or 2.
How many could you do?
I think I did maybe almost 10.
On a scale of 0 to 10, how manly did you feel?
I'd say almost 10.
1 per drop.
How manly did you look?
Oh, that's always a 10 or 11. But
on a scale of
10.
Oh.
I can tell you that when I challenged my brother to do that, he did beat me because he can beat me at all of those things. But he was not able to go beyond about 12 or 13. And they say, well, if you can get to 20, then you're really getting there. He couldn't do it. I felt pretty good about that.
I have something for you.
Ooh, did you bring hot tamales?
This is all a setup.
I see now.
Dun, dun, dun.
It dawns on me at the same time as everybody else.
Was it
the audience didn't know?
Was it the crinkling of the wrapper?
Yes. Well, when she said, I have something, I'm like, oh, okay. We were headed here the whole time.
I couldn't pass this up. And I'm really hoping that you're not too much of a wimp to pass.
Wait, no.
I wanted to know
Now,
how...
I'm going to flip this back on all of you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You're either going to do it or you're not.
Or you will not do it or you're not.
Oh, I'm definitely not doing it. That's...
Well,
I
then
have
I
no
probably won't
need.
either.
I have no need to prove how manly I am.
Brad?
It just would be a shame if I wasn't the least manly person
Ryan,
in
are
the
you
room.
just not wanting to do this by yourself?
Yes.
I'll hold your hand.
No. Ethan?
Yeah, if you're a hot, spicy type of Guy, you can jump in on this, but you have zero obligation to do it.
Hot spicy type
Is he
of
coming
guy.
in?
I see some foot movement.
It says red versus blue.
Okay.
And it's...
I'm not.
Nah, and he is no shame in saying
He's not, and he left.
He's passing.
Wow.
Love it.
If Anna is out there and she's a spicy, hot, spicy person, she can come in and participate as well. However,
Ooh, I think she's doing it.
I was making a purchase
Okay.
at Walgreens, and where the impulse items are was this little guy.
Berry hot.
Berry hot. Does it say challenge on it?
Challenge. The Berry Hot Challenge. It is a gummy.
Oh.
And it says
Got my attention.
hot gummy bear candy inside. Anna, do you like spicy things?
I love spicy things.
Do you? Okay. So, I mean,
This
we
is not
could
good for
have,
me.
no, this is better than I could have imagined. But it's up to
You're
you.
speaking my language with the gummy.
I know.
That's why you got this.
I worked my way into this, and it went exactly as I had hoped. It says
Good
sweet,
for you.
sweet to sweat. Start sweet, then it's spicy.
Oh boy.
I'm a little nervous.
The
about
Berry
this.
Hot Challenge, 30 hot gummies. It says, warning, fully chew one at a time. Please chew responsibly.
How many?
One at a time.
Okay, just one at a time. Okay.
It says serving size is 15 pieces, 135 calories, but it says red and blue. So the question is this something you feel like you might want to do?
Is this like Bean Boozled where you don't know if you're getting a hot one or not?
No, I just
They're
said
all
they're all
start
hot.
But
sweet,
they're red and blue.
then it's spicy. It's
Okay.
just food coloring. It's
Okay.
fake. The color is just
I
indicative.
thought maybe they were to trick you.
It might trick you.
It already has.
Are you going to do it?
Oh, yeah. It's a gummy. I've got to take care of that category. Check that box.
Will it bother you if Anna can handle this a lot better than you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think when we come back, if Anna's schedule allows,
Yeah, I'll do it.
we'll separate these over the break, and you guys can choose red or blue or whatever. I think that they're the same, just a different color. And then we'll bring Ethan because it's Ethan's birthday, and he can maybe like referee, or his dream job is the Cardinals play-by-play job. I think this would be a good place for him to start in play-by-play.
Oh, yeah.
Referee this, and then you might make it to the referee big leagues and be a referee for a baseball game.
It's actually the play-by-play part that we want to lean into, but we'll throw in a little, referee official action on Ethan's part.
Okay.
Any chance you're going to try one of these?
Oh, I'll try it.
You will.
Oh, for sure.
No, that makes things worse. It actually does, because he's going to handle it fine. And I am going to crawl up under this table.
How do you anticipate if this is? I mean, maybe this is all just good marketing on the packaging.
I honestly, if I saw it in a store, I wouldn't buy it because I would be a little bit afraid of it. But it does have the gummy appeal, so the gummy angle I'm kind of interested in.
From a textural standpoint, it should be a pleasant experience.
Yeah. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably just store it in my cheek like a chipmunk for the whole 2 o'clock hour, and then be like, I'm fine.
His face is turning red and sweat's
Just burning a
rolling
hole in
down.
your cheek.
Yeah. It falls out the side of my mouth.
All right, it's on. Anna, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, I'm just on the record, not doing it myself. I don't like this type of stuff.
I'm not going to come out of this well, I can guarantee.
Yeah.
We got 2 people in the room who are obviously going to handle this better than me.
You're a gummy expert.
Well, that I am. There's no doubt about that.
Have you ever had a spicy gummy?
No. But I will say I've had a lot of different types of gummy, and one of the weirdest is a chocolate-covered gummy.
I thought it was going to be like a pot gummy.
No, never done that. Melatonin gummies I'm considering, though, for a long flight in the future. Never done that either.
I take melatonin gummies every night.
Do you?
Yeah.
Those don't work on me.
Did you use them frequently?
No.
Did they just stop working, or they never did?
They never did.
I'm a fan.
Weird.
My kids use them too. I swear by them in my house. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, a birthday boy acknowledgement and a Berry Hot challenge between Anna and Ryan Wiggins. Don't go away.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Mark Reardon, and Annie Frey, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the last Protecting Your Retirement educational event of the year. Tuesday, October 3rd at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online to retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering if you'll be able to live the same lifestyle as you are now? Do you worry about losing your nest egg in the next big market correction? Did you know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any more losses and provide more income than most investment options. Would you like to know why linking to the market is so much safer than owning the market? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this last event of the year.
Protect your retirement nest egg. Join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tuesday, October 3rd at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Michael's Flooring Outlet. You find Michael's in St. Louis at one of their 3 locations, but you can go online right now to igotfloored.com. If you have thought about a flooring purchase in your near future, shopping local is, I highly encourage it, but it's also a smart move because the value and the quality that they can pair for you, they've said to me before, we don't care if our customers, clients, people who come into our store have shopped in other places. Just come visit Michael's Flooring Outlet before you make your final decision, and they're going to work to earn your business. With quality products like the Mohawk Smart Strand line, with the Techwood Plus line, you can go onto their website at igotfloored.com, and you can see all of the different types of materials that they have for your flooring needs. If you're going for a hardwood look, there are various ways that you can achieve the hardwood look that vary in budget and quality and technology. They will walk you through all of your options at Michael's Flooring Outlet, a longtime sponsor of 97.1. Very grateful to have them sponsor the Annie Frey Show. If you're looking for flooring, shop online at igotfloored.com.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Pushback on Capitol Hill. Lisa Brady, Fox News. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy taking heat after directing a House panel to open an impeachment probe of President Biden. He says House Republicans have uncovered serious allegations about the president's conduct.
Taken together, these allegations paint a picture of a culture of corruption.
The White House says it's politically motivated without any evidence of wrongdoing, and that McCarthy flip-flopped on a pledge to hold a House vote on an impeachment inquiry. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell just telling reporters McCarthy doesn't need advice from him.
They've got a totally different set of challenges than we do. And so I think the best advice for the Senate is to do our job, and we'll see how this plays out later.
But Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer calls an impeachment inquiry absurd. This as the White House warns Republicans not to break a budget deal.
White House Budget Director Shalonda Young suspending bills proposed by House Republicans would be devastating for families, students, seniors, and rural communities and undermine the economy. Her memo comes as lawmakers end an August recess and a government shutdown deadline looms on October 1st.
Fox's Jared Halpern in Washington. A bipartisan deal with spending limits was made in May to raise the debt ceiling, but a bloc of House conservatives wants deeper cuts. 5 fired Memphis police officers already charged with murder in state court for the beating death of Tyree Nichols now also face federal civil rights charges. The Justice Department announcing the federal indictments on 4 counts each, including deprivation of rights through excessive force and failure to intervene, and conspiracy and obstruction through witness tampering. Nichols died 3 days after a traffic stop confrontation in January. Escaped killer Danilo Cavalcante still on the run in Pennsylvania, where state police say he's now armed with a stolen rifle. They're working to narrow the latest search perimeter. America is listening to Fox News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The northwest flow has pushed the unsettled weather out. We've got mostly sunny skies this afternoon, 75 for the high. Tonight, clear and chilly. Temperatures this evening drop into the upper 60s and 52 for the low. Let's just make it simple for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Lots of sunshine, nice, comfortable, 78 each day. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Centric Security and Automation online at centricstl.com. That's Centric with a C, centricstl.com. Go to their website or call for a free risk assessment or quote to upgrade your aging security system, your aging automation system. 314-442-6860. Call Centric Security and Automation at 314-442-6860. They provide the service to back up that new system that you could implement. They can also work with the bones of the system that you have already maybe wired in place with better equipment to make sure that your business, that your building, that your property is protected. 314-442-6860. Businesses have a significant responsibility to make sure that the safeguards are in place so that your people, your customers, your clients, that yourself, and all of the intellectual property that goes along with running your business, that everything is secure. So don't let this slip through the cracks and wish that you would have implemented this. Just call right now for that free risk assessment and a quote to upgrade your aging system. 314-442-6860, centricstl.com.
While interest rates are skyrocketing everywhere else, Diamonds Direct comes to the rescue. Now for a limited time, get 0% interest for 5 years on anything and everything. Now through October 1st, you get Diamonds Direct's incredible value price and spread your payments over 5 years with an unheard of interest rate of 0.0%. Nothing's held back. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets. At a time when you need it most, Diamonds Direct steps up with the best offer in the nation. Don't miss it. Get details, showroom hours, and more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. On approved credit.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals and will share information with them to evaluate and process your claims. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. You can trust Innovation Refunds with your small business's ERC claim because of their SOC 2 Type 1 security compliance. And if you're a tech person, you know that's a big deal. I'm not a tech person, but I did look it up. Without this certification, how can you be sure a company can protect your information? It's not like here on the radio, where all you need to be secure is a sensor button. Check it out. So now you won't know my date of birth is or that my social security number is the password to my bank account is Ty's Cool Password 1. Uh-oh. The button's broken. Luckily, Innovation Refunds is more reliable. Don't wait. Go to innovationrefunds.com. That's innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS to get started. Oh, a notification from my bank. Wait, I didn't buy a boat.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today. That's youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
You could be watching this right now. Tune into the Annie Frey Show live stream. YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Twitch. You know what? Just type in Annie Frey Show live stream. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long. Don't get
I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. It's Tuesday. We are happy that you're here with us. And we have in studio right now a couple of guests. Ethan, who has been our fill-in assistant producer for, 3 weeks now? 4 weeks, maybe? It's starting to run together. Yeah. Brad's got his microphone. But we appreciated you, and we've had a lot of fun with you in here, and we're glad that you have been able to be consistent with us, because that really helps. As Hannah has moved on up to the Y98 morning show. We have Anna in here. People heard me say on the YouTube chat, they're like, Hannah? It's like, no, this is Anna.
No, sorry for the letdown.
No, we appreciate you. Anna is our one of our great contributors to a lot of the things we do digitally here on our station, and she's always sitting outside, so she has decided to come in and join because Ryan Wiggins really wanted to prove his masculinity to St. Louis by eating spicy gummy bears.
I will acknowledge that my masculinity is on the line. I will not acknowledge that I wanted to prove that, because I think I'm going to fail at proving my masculinity.
Is it masculine to want to prove your masculinity?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it. Sure.
And you don't want to?
Not when you know you're gonna not when you know you're gonna fail.
Go on.
Because this is an area that I don't succeed usually in. Actually,
proving your masculinity.
Most masculine things that are traditionally masculine, I don't succeed in. This would just be another one. And but look, hey,
sum up for us what you just concluded there.
There are things that are masculine.
Mm-hmm.
Fixing a door, you know,
fixing a car,
driving a car fast.
Yeah, women don't do that. It's a very masculine trait.
Looking at something and thinking, yeah. Anything like that. Anything like that is masculine.
What?
And they're like the car stuff, fixing a door.
Looking at something and thinking, what?
Our whole concept of masculinity, this segment, has been from Home Improvement. Fixing a door, working on fast cars.
Calling Home Improvement tool time.
You just want
That's masculine.
Be Tim Allen.
Yes. And so any of those traditional masculine things, I just am not that good at. I just am not.
What masculine things, where do you feel the most in tune with your masculinity?
I can hit a golf ball pretty far.
Pretty far.
There was one time.
Yeah. Why are you flexing? Stop.
I'm
Put
not.
your
This is just
down.
the way I stand with my arms forward like this. Sure.
Do the little bicep thing with your arms crossed. No, not that thing.
Like where I move them like Terry Crews.
Yeah, but you're using your hands. You're not doing your muscles.
Yeah.
Is it weird to use your hands to massage your breasts?
I need you to stop right now. We're going to have an Anna HR issue here in about 2 seconds.
You're right. Yeah, this is what you're asking about, right?
This right here.
Right there?
That was what I was talking about.
Yeah, there we go.
I love how when I said that, Brad and Ryan were like, oh, who can do this best?
Brad's doing it too.
Gotta get it.
So you hit a golf ball far.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like any other, like just really masculine things that Ryan Wiggins does.
I don't put up with a lot of nonsense at times.
You don't suffer fools?
I don't suffer.
Do you pity the fools?
No. I don't pity them, but I do not suffer them.
Okay.
And if they get around me, I will tell them, right, you get out of here.
Anna, are you ever around a group of girls who are like, oh, let's see who can handle the hot, spicy stuff the best?
No, never. Never.
It's not even part of the language.
No.
Ever. But dudes do this stuff.
Yeah.
So we
Pretty
have,
regularly.
can you read the package over there one more time that you guys, I saw this, I was checking out at Walgreens and I saw these and I was like, I can't not get these for Ryan Wiggins.
Okay, this is the Berry Hot Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
The package says it's red versus blue, so I guess you're supposed to do this with multiple people because
Well, and obviously on this show, I thought
red versus blue is good.
Yeah.
These do look a little green tinted. I do have a problem with that. It says hot gummy bear candy inside, as if you did not know that because you can see inside. On the back, it says...
That gummy on the front, that cartoon of a gummy, looks a little bit like an illustration between a gummy bear and an insane clown posse.
Yeah, like it's a Satan bear.
Mm-hmm.
The back says...
From hell.
Yeah. Not like roaming the earth Satan. Like hell
It's got
Satan.
fire behind it.
Roaring like a bear.
Right. Not like a Job Satan.
What is happening?
Roaring like
More
a
like a
bear.
New Testament Satan.
Now we're making Bible jokes.
Right. Sweet to heat, it says on the back. So my assumption is that these are going to start and we're all going to go, oh, this is fine. And then about 2 minutes later, we're going to feel
It's
it
supposed to sneak up on you.
in our gullet. Starts sweet, then it's spicy. Just in case you didn't get that already, the package wanted you to know. And now I have read everything but the ingredients.
Do you think that everybody here should eat it at the same time? Or do you think that we should have Anna and Ryan do it and then Ethan and Brad can make decisions based on what happens here?
Yeah, I think if it would be easier for me to defeat one person, since I am not probably going to defeat anybody.
I just don't want to be. I don't want to be in a room with 5 people, 4 of whom are drooling and can't talk, and I have to sit here and carry the load.
How do you win eating a gummy bear?
I think that you just sort of you tell everybody that this isn't affecting you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's how you do
You
it.
lie.
Well,
you might be dying on the inside, but
You can't show it. You can't show
No,
pain.
it's not that bad.
Yeah.
No,
It's fine.
It's good. I'll eat another one later.
Yeah. I could eat 40 of these.
What color do you have, Ryan?
I think I just pulled a blue.
And
I have blue.
you have a blue?
Oh,
So you're
okay.
eating the same thing.
Okay.
So no, like, well, she had a red one.
I know. I was thinking about that.
Are there any other variables, Ryan, that you would like to get out of the way right now so we can take them out of your excuse arsenal for about 10 minutes
Is
later?
water allowed?
Sure, but let's see who's the first person to go to the water.
Do you have water?
No. Yeah, I have water.
You do? Okay.
Not anywhere near any electronics, though.
No.
No,
correct.
we don't have electronics in here
That's correct.
anymore.
All right, pop them.
All right, here we go.
Blue gummy bears in. And it says it's supposed to start sweet and then go
Are you
spicy.
chewing it?
So yeah,
Don't
give
chew
us,
into the microphone.
I'm chewing it.
Do you,
Okay.
Ethan, do you enjoy spicy foods as a rule?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, if there's something spicy out there, do you like buffalo? Do you?
No, I tend to not go with the in the spicy direction.
Yeah.
But
I've noticed Anna has stopped chewing.
How's it going?
I swallowed it. It didn't start sweet.
It did not start sweet.
No.
There's no sweet to that
So
at
there's
all.
immediate spice.
Yes.
Immediate spice.
Did you chew it all the way through? It says you have to chew it all the way through one
I
at a
chewed
time.
it all the way through. It's not.
You
that-
just swallowed it immediately, didn't you?
No,
You
I
didn't
didn't.
chew it or anything.
No, I did not. I don't think it's that bad.
It wasn't terrible, but it's not enjoyable.
Is it in taste?
Yeah, it's just spicy gummy.
Is it spicy?
So maybe
Yeah, it's spicy.
Maybe sweet to
Yeah.
spicy means like just because gummy bears tend to naturally be sweet is what they were thinking. I'm
Yeah.
just wondering what they were going for there.
Yeah, there's no sweet in this at
I
all.
feel like to really be spicy, you probably have to eat 4 or 5.
Go
if
for
you
it.
ate a handful of those,
Yeah.
then it could start to hurt.
Eat 3 more.
Should we do it?
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I need to see you suffer. we have like a 60% increase in people watching right now because they want to see something happen. Make sure you chew it all the way through. You
I'm
have
just
to
gonna swallow
you
my
c-
pills.
Don't swallow until we get to 2:15:30.
How many?
Just keep working on it.
We're not going to get to 2:15.
Okay, we got a decent amount.
2:16:30 tomorrow, tonight, this morning.
You just keep chewing it.
12 hours. Yeah, because maybe it'll make a difference. And you said, Brad, that you are a spicy food
I
guy.
do like spicy food. Yeah, my favorite thing is hot wings, and
Like
mainly
buffalo
just hot, yeah,
wings?
So,
I
on the-
like buffalo, sweet heat.
At
you know.
B-dubs, where are you at on the hot scale?
I've had them all. I generally don't get the blazing because at that point it stops being about flavor and it's more just bitter.
Okay.
But I really like the chipotle rub, but I think that's somewhere in the middle.
Are you okay?
These are not about flavor. Those are just spicy for the sake of spicy. And the more you eat, the worse it's getting. I haven't drank anything yet. I want credit for that.
I'm
Put it back
sweating a
down.
little bit. I feel like that's the worst of the effects.
It's getting to you, though.
A
You
little.
do feel it.
I mean, yeah.
You can feel it all through your throat.
You can feel it in your you can feel it in your
They're
throat.
pretty hot.
Is it growing?
Yeah.
So how many did you have? 3, 4? What?
I just
One,
had
then
4.
three.
We had a total of 4.
Okay.
No, I
Do
just
4 all at once.
I
4?
had 5.
No, no.
Well, she's done more than you have now.
I
Yeah,
really
the
don't want
macho
to
man
use
in me
one.
is kind of
Go
saying I
for
need
it.
to do a 5th.
Go for it.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Have you drank anything yet?
Brad, did you want to try
You
it?
want to
Yeah,
get
I
in
would
on
try
this?
How much is left?
There's
There's
still
plenty.
Eat the whole bag.
Well, they just smell like normal gummy bears.
I do want to see your reaction. Are you doing 4 or 5?
5.
Okay, do it
Cheers.
all at once.
I
All at once.
definitely still feel it on my tongue.
Chew them though. Don't swallow.
Yeah, you're an expert. What's the spiciest thing you've ever eaten?
No
Let's
kidding.
not chew into the microphones.
No kidding. It was 4 days ago. The freaking Y98 people. I'm sitting in my office, and the freaking Y98.
That's how we talk about him now that they took Hannah.
We were in the Y98 studio, and they were like, take him to Wiggins. And we were
Really?
like, yeah.
Did that happen?
Yes, that's how it started.
Wait,
they were
what?
like, we got
So I'm sitting in my office, and this barrage of people with like cameras and boom mics walk in my office. They're like, "Hey, look, we got some wings from our client here, or whoever it was." So I thought, "Oh, this is like a client video. I'll participate plus free wings." So they say,
Actually, probably.
it's
Hey, these are free wings
Yeah.
plus a client.
Yes, yeah. And so they go, "What's for a good cause?" Which I don't even remember what it was. And I said, "I don't even care if it's free wings. I'll do it for a bad cause." And I'm like, "Hey, that's good
He
for the
did
video."
say those exact words.
Yeah, like giving them gold here. So I bite into the thing, and I thought, I don't know really what the reaction they're looking for.
Oh, they
is.
blindsided you with the spicy wing?
I didn't know it was spicy. I just thought it was a client
That's not
walking in like,
right.
"Oh, free wings. We're just getting reactions."
That's not right.
Dude, it was like poison. It was called Alice
It was-
Cooper's poison wings.
Yeah.
And
it was
it's
something like
af-
Ghost Reaper. That's what it was.
Those were hot wings.
It was hours and hours. I think it was before the show. So I think by the time the show started, I was just getting back to okay.
Did you have regrets?
Oh, yeah. It was awful.
Anna,
I had one too.
Anna, did you have regrets?
I didn't have any regrets.
Of course, did you know what you're getting into?
I did.
I took that was a big meaty wing too. And I'm like, "Oh, this is going to be great." Oh.
Tom Ackerman ate too.
Stop
Fully.
freaking Tom Ackerman. Get him out of here.
It's because he's a professional.
Yeah.
And super manly.
Apparently.
Super, yeah.
I bet he can hit a golf ball a mile.
I bet he can hit it farther
How many
than
more?
you can.
How many more you got?
But I think he's really good at
5.
5 more?
All right. So have we determined that the marketing and the package is better than the product?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, but it is legitimately hot. I'm not saying that
Do you
they
think a kid would eat this and
they
be like,
cheaped out on it. They would no kids
No,
would
a
hate
kid
it.
would freak out on this.
Yeah.
because it's that spicy?
Yeah.
But Ryan is as soft as these gummy bears.
Let's take this onto the driving range.
Okay.
The gummy
Ooh.
bears?
No,
For real,
just
man,
our
sport.
rivalry.
And
And
so-
see what
hey,
happens.
Hey,
He's got a
listen,
driving range, man.
we've been talking about doing an AFS show Olympics for a long time. You can determine that is where it goes down, but then you have to do something that you have to handshake with Brad on what he determines the competition is going to
Is
be.
this a masculinity contest? We're going to work on cars.
Oh my gosh, let's have
No,
a
we're not gonna do-
masculinity
we're not gonna do that.
contest, and I
will be there and I will film
Who
it.
can fix the Porsche faster?
No, it'll be hitting drives,
driving range.
maybe even mini golf.
You can't.
It'll be candy consumption.
He's naming them all.
No.
Or masculinity
be
is truly defined on the mini
a
golf course.
quick 30-second copywriting contest. Though that's how we'll determine.
You know what? I'm fine. I'll go on the road.
Here's
I'll beat you on your home court.
It's
I haven't drank anything yet. I
It's
just want
on.
credit for that.
It's on. Olympics.
You want any more?
No.
No?
It's soft.
Let's wrap.
Me and Brad had 10.
Anna, you hung in there with the best of them, and maybe even
Yeah.
better than the best of them.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Are they gross?
They're not good.
They're not good.
It's not an excellent gummy bear, but it's not. There is gummy bear flavor there.
Scooter suggests a spelling contest.
Ooh, that would be funny.
All right, let's take a quick break. If you want to get the gummy bears, spicy gummy bears, I got them at the checkout at Walgreens. They did not pay us for this. In fact, I paid $5.99 for those things. We'll be right back with Ethan, the birthday boy, when we come back.
I see a line of cars and they are painted black.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Flowers and my love hope never to come back. I see people turn their heads and quickly look away. Like a newborn baby, it just happens every day. I look inside myself.
When when you are looking to replace windows in your home or install new windows, you need to check out Window World. You can make a phone call to them at 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800. They have a lifetime warranty that comes with your purchase of these quality windows, and it covers all parts. It covers glass breakage and it covers labor. Window World uses double-strength glass that gives it the strength not commonly used in replacement windows. It's a smart investment to go with Window World, but I know you know how to make the best decisions for you. So reach out to them at 314-993-1800 with any questions that you have. You can also request a free in-home estimate. They are confident in the product that they have at Window World, that when you talk to them and you tell them what you're looking for, whether it's a small project or a big project, that they're going to be able to meet your needs with that quality window. They offer 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. So you can do the whole project. You can make that dollar stretch a little bit further with that 18-month window to pay the same as you would should you have been paying with cash. Reach out to Window World. They're simply the best for less. And they say that with confidence because they know they're giving you that quality product for less. 314-993-1800 or online at windowworld.com.
If you love headlines that make you stop scrolling and start reading, you'll love my podcast, Something Offbeat. I'm Mike Rogers, and in the past year, we've learned about items on the nude bucket list.
It's just a lot of normal stuff that people do nude rather than clothed.
And what's behind the rash of incidents involving fans throwing objects at artists on stage.
They're being treated more like the object on the screen than the person on the stage.
Something Offbeat drops Mondays in the Odyssey app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
This planet is so incredibly beautiful that I can't get enough of it. I did 950 miles on the Pacific Crest Trail, and Good Feet was with me all the way. Your passion's important, but if your body aches and if your heel feels like you've got a nail stuck in it and won't come out, trust me, it's going to wear you down. The Good Feet store knew what they were talking about and took the time to really dial in what I needed. I hiked 84 miles in the Himalaya and to do it pain-free. You think I'm not grateful for Good Feet?
Get ready for your summer adventures. Come to the Good Feet store today. Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive west of I-270 in the Plaza with Subway or in Shiloh, Illinois across from Deerbergs.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. You deserve comfort in your life. Come in for your free test walk today.
About Lakeside Renovation and Design. My friends Matt and Dan have been in the business for over 25 years and have done everything on my home, from James Hardy siding, Infinity from Marvin Windows, and even a couple of room additions. These guys are great, and you can trust them with your home. Check out their website to see for yourself all the beautiful work they've done. You can find them online at lakesidrenovationanddesign.com. Be sure to ask about their unbelievable financing options. Lakeside Renovation and Design.
The IRS definitely ramped up operations since the pandemic slowed them down, and activity only increases from here. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. If you're currently under audit or you haven't paid your taxes in the past, now's the time to call the Lance Story Law Firm. The IRS has a published Taxpayer Bill of Rights, which says you have the right to retain legal representation. Because IRS problems are legal problems, and the Lance Story Law Firm focuses specifically on addressing IRS issues for our clients. It's all we do. We get out in front of the IRS, devise the best resolution plan, and work to make sure you're able to take advantage of every program you're qualified to receive. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure company, call the Lance Story Law Firm. We're local, located right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-238-7360.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
With Odyssey music stations, there's a different station for every taste, and they're all free. Listen to 97.1 live on your phone or browse the selection of music stations and make a soundtrack to your workday. It's all at Odyssey.com. This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
If you love somebody, better tell them why they're here, 'cause they just may run away from you. You'll never know quite when, well, then again it just depends on how long the time is left for you. I've had the highest mountains, I've had the deepest river. You can have it all, but now keep moving. I'll take it in, but don't look down. 'Cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Waiting on this for a while now. Paying my dues to the dirt.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. How you doing, Ryan? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm fine. Ethan drank first, and so I was like, oh, I guess I could
So
drink
now
now.
you can drink, yeah.
You're even doing that.
I was watching you.
Who in here is in favor of self-checkouts? If you walk up, if you're in a store that has self-checkouts and attended checkouts, Brad, which one are you which one are you choosing to go to? All things equal.
All things equal, probably the self-checkout.
Why?
Because I can then just check myself out and go. And if I know that I'm not going to have any trouble ringing anything out or anything like that, it'll be faster that way.
Ethan, what one are you choosing?
I'm probably choosing self-checkout, but oftentimes I feel bad for doing that because I feel like I'm actively like part of the problem. I feel like those companies are now moving more towards that, which means less people working. So I feel bad for that, but self-checkout's just so easy. It's so
Do
quick.
you think that if you were to use the attended checkout that Target would change their policies?
No.
I don't think that I am very strong in the belief that places like Target or Walmart or a grocery store that you go to, they are not putting in self-checkouts because they think it's better for the customer experience. It's just cheaper for the business.
Yeah.
Simple. I don't think that I think that they will sit there and watch the lines be super long for someone who's like sticking it to the man. I'm going to use an attended checkout. I don't think they care.
Well, I think that's part of the benefit of having self-checkout is that you can have so many more of them so the lines are shorter. So they could claim that they were doing that. But I disagree. I think if there were really long lines at the attended checkout versus the self-check, they would acknowledge that and maybe add somebody if the demand was there.
I don't. Not if in the meantime all of the self-checkouts were open.
Well, if clearly the customers wanted attended checkout that badly, I think they would buck up for it. I actually do want. I like it. All things equal.
I was going to ask you next. All things equal.
All things
It's
equal.
not shorter to go one or the other. You
Right.
can access both at the same time.
All things equal, I like the attended checkout
Why?
because I think they're faster than I am at checking out.
You think the employee is better?
I think they know what they're doing at the check a little better than I do, and I think they can move it faster.
Where do you struggle the most in a self-checkout scenario?
It's
Produce?
getting the things out. No, it's all of it. It's getting the things out, finding the barcode, because it's like they just innately know. Boom, 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 boom. I'm trying to fumble around finding the barcode on the things. Then once I do, do I bag this? Now I got to figure out if I'm going to bag it. Do I bag it with the bananas or whatever? Like all that stupid stuff that I don't have to think about with the attendant.
Okay, to be fair though, when was the last time you went? For me personally, I feel like it's been forever since you've gone to a store like Target or Walmart though, and every one of the aisles are even open. Because I feel like there's there's never like, oh, there's just an empty line with someone waiting.
Right.
There's always multiple people in those lines.
It's people like Ryan Wiggins that panic in the self-checkout.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I do. I'm panicking. I'm going, oh, no, this one said cash only. That kind of stupid stuff that I don't have to deal with when there's an attendant there.
I think this might remind me, this is going to be the Friday poll. Self-checkout or attended lane. Because I prefer self-checkout. I think it's the greatest thing ever. I think it's a generational. On the whole, I think generationally, younger people are like, I'll take the self-checkout. Because younger people they're on their own time. They want to get in. They want to get out. You can probably adapt to the technology a little bit more than people of a certain Ryan Wiggins age. But if you want to have the assistance of somebody, I think the one time that I guess it's kind of different for me is if you're buying alcohol and you know that you're going to have an attendant, I will survey the situation to see if there is somebody actively supervising the self-checkout that will easily be able to come over and beep boop into the computer so that I can buy my margaritas or whatever.
I think those attendants, the ones who stand in the midst of all the self-checkouts, who are there to help you through your problems, whatever they may be, mine are usually emotional, yeah.
My dad never told me he loved
Let
me.
Let me tell you about what
I have this
teacher said to me in third
gastrointestinal
grade.
issue that hits me when I eat spicy things.
She's like, are you paying with credit card then? Or- those people have gotten
Just
a
to
lot
let
better.
know.
I think
Yeah.
they've trained them
Oh, yeah.
better than they did when they first had the self-checkouts.
Yeah.
To where now I'm not as worried if I'm going to buy alcohol or if I need some sort of help that somebody's going to take 15 minutes to come to me. Now it's like a minute.
Here's a question from Dawn. I guess Ryan doesn't shop at Rulers because of the bagging situation. What do you think about places like Ruler where you go and you get your stuff, you got to put it in like boxes and you have to bring your own bags or you can pay for the bags and then put it all together yourself?
Well, first of all,
You shop at Ruler.
I shop at Ruler so and here's the answer to the question. I shop at Ruler so often that I actually go there probably 2-3 times a week. So I'm only getting what I need every time I go.
Yeah.
So I don't really need to get bags and boxes because it's just a handful of things every time I go. So I'm just throwing it all in my back seat. Yeah, I can kind of carry
You got
all
ranch dressing in your back seat that
Yeah.
you find 2 weeks later.
That always happens, actually. Actually, when it's the ranch dressing, I'm okay with it. When it's butter, you're like, ooh. That was
The
not good.
Daily Mail, Baby Boomer reports that baby boomers and the silent generation are blaming supermarket self-checkouts for increasing loneliness and wiping out one of their last remaining social interactions.
It seems a little extreme.
It's very extreme. When 83-year-old Marlis Myers lost her husband, it was her local Albertsons cashier who provided solace. So let's go back to the Ryan Wiggins thing about sharing your
See?
problems in the checkout
See?
lane.
I told you. When you're having a problem, like if you lose your spouse, who's the first person you go talk to?
Ma'am, I make $14 an hour.
I got advice. You're not going to like it.
I have a coupon for that. And also, why am I so freaking lonely?
Ma'am, this is a Walmart.
Workers like Sharon Heckler are determined to maintain that special bond with the elderly, even as almost half of checkout lanes in the U.S. are now automated. Heckler told the LA Times, "We all need that human, personal touch."
Yeah.
So you are the only one in here, Ryan, who prefers. Will you wait in a little line to not self-checkout if there's no line?
No.
So
Line first.
The fastest is the first priority.
Yes.
But all things equal, you're going to the attendant.
Yep.
Do you talk to them
Yeah.
about what things?
Well, it depends. It depends. If the checker, and honestly, it's the same
Life.
like 4
It's
people
life.
I always see at Ruler, if
Yeah.
that, usually just the same too. If it's one of the, and not just there, but anywhere, if it's a guy who is not wanting to acknowledge that I actually exist, like not making eye contact.
Is that because you've already had some very awkward conversations with him?
That's possible.
You and they're buying your
if they're not
Depends?
looking at you like they're just doing their job,
Yeah.
then I'm probably not going to talk to them much, just to thank you or whatever. But if they look at you, then I will converse with them because they've sort of breached the fourth wall there. So I feel
Fourth wall,
obligated.
which used to be actually made of plexiglass.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if did I tell you that last time I was in Ruler, which was just a week or two ago. No, it was more recent than that because I've been anyway. But the time
Is this what it goes like at the cashier?
Yes.
Did I tell you this? I know I can't remember how many times I've been here and we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Did I update you on what I did this weekend?
So yeah, I always leave a cliffhanger. So next time,
Tuesday,
It's a
because Tuesday I was
tease.
with my mom. And
Yeah.
yeah. And then the tire completely came off the car. I'm gonna stop there, and I'll see you on Tuesday.
You were gonna tell a story there for real.
So this lady she was one person in front of me, but then I always get the same stuff, like the same armful of stuff. So I don't have a cart a lot of times. So the guy that was in front of me had even less than me. So I'm like, oh, just go ahead.
And you're like, I got these
Yeah.
manly arms full of all of these
Right,
things.
I
see you're not carrying a lot.
Yeah. I had 2 gallons of milk, and it made me just look tough enough. And I'm like, Yeah, go ahead. You can
2%.
go ahead and step up, buddy.
Mhm.
And he did. He stepped in front of me, and I wish I hadn't have said that. I was just being nice, because then the lady who was in front of him started talking to the cashier, who was very friendly, and telling her, oh, I hear you guys on 97.1 all the time. Did I tell you this? Off air, maybe?
It was, if you said this a while ago, but
Yeah, and I was like, oh, and I couldn't quite hear everything she was saying over the beeps and the
She's
air
listening
conditioning
right
and everything.
now.
Yeah, she probably is.
Yeah, hi.
And she said, I hear you guys on 97.1 all the time. And the cashier acted like she didn't really know what that meant. So
Okay.
she was explaining what 97.1
And you were
was.
like, we vote Republican.
And I was like, what?
The red team.
Right, Ryan's like, I'm on 97.1.
I'm a huge star.
He drops his gallons
Yeah.
of milk.
Whoops. And I just ran out the door.
The story that you told me, she was talking about how big of a fan of the station she was, and you didn't acknowledge the fact that you were Ryan Wiggins at all.
After the checkout part, she was still bagging her stuff because she had a cart full, and I just had a couple things. So I walk up and I'm bagging my stuff in one of those little boxes that's just there sitting there, and she was doing the actual bags, and I was like, hey, I just want you to know I listen to 97.1 too. And she's like, oh yeah, I love that station. And she looked at me like, we have a kindred spirit here, right? And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I never said anything.
And she's listening right now, and she's going, that was Ryan Wiggins?
And it had to be our show that she listens to, too. Because we talk about Ruler, I think, more than anybody.
Well, I have spots that run on the station as well.
Well, that's possible.
So,
yeah.
but it certainly has to be our show.
It has to be.
Probably just you. She might be your biggest fan.
Yeah. She probably...
She was starstruck.
She was so starstruck that she didn't even recognize that I was her favorite person in the world, favorite personality in the world. But I am a huge star. And...
Conclusion.
Yeah. And I'm to that level...
Here we go.
That you don't have to say who you are. You just kind of walk up and you just sort of give a nod, and it's like a Christmas gift, you know?
Brad, can you articulate for me what it's like when we're in an event and people walk up and they see me and they recognize me, and you're standing next to me and Ryan Wiggins is standing next to me, and I shake their hand and I thank them for listening to the show, and then I say, this is Brad from the show and this is Ryan Wiggins. What do they do when they realize who he is?
Oh,
they go, oh, I listen to that station.
Ryan.
Yeah, they look at him with their eyebrows up, and it's always this like, this is the man in the flesh. And then they always say something that's like very flattering towards Ryan, but they always try to make it a secret.
Yeah,
I don't
really
know.
like Ryan Wiggins.
It's like I don't know that it's really flattering though. At the Heritage event, there was a lady who was asking who each one of us was. And a lot of people can hear us talk and then say, oh, I know who you are.
Yeah.
But they've never seen us.
Oh, this was fun.
So me and Brad are at the check-in table, and we're taking note cards for questions for all the Heritage people to ask the Q&A at the end. And we were just saying, hey, write down a question. Well, then as we're doing that, people are asking us, because we are the first contact that they're making, oh, well, where's Annie? Where's Mark? Where's Mark? The main hosts, they want to know where you guys are first. And so we're saying, well, they're right there, or she's right there, or whatever. And then this one lady, she goes, where is Ryan Wiggins? And I said, I think he's probably doing something off. He's weird. I really started trashing myself. And I was waiting because I thought if I talk enough, she's going to recognize my voice. She did not.
What did she say about you?
So she assumed everything that I said about me was true.
You trash talked you.
Yes.
And
I never said
that's
like,
just,
I'm Ryan Wiggins.
that's the lasting impression that this lady.
Yes.
God, well.
Hope she's listening now too.
Yeah, she probably is. Well, before we take a break, Ethan, we wanted to give you a little something for your birthday. Here you go. That's from the crew.
So sweet, guys.
Yeah, you can open that here in a second, and it has been wonderful having you in here. And I don't know how long we get to keep enjoying your company, but Brad, you know what it's like to have to maintain and Hannah's onward and upward movement to Y98. Ethan, you've been a steady anchor for the show, and we appreciate you, and we wanted to tell you happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Very kind of you guys. And me and Brad text all the time now, but we're great. Cardinals are
we
losing
make fun.
again.
We talk about the Cardinals.
Ryan, when you make friends, then you don't have to talk to the cashier anymore. You can text these boys.
I try, but I just get more responses from the cashiers, so I'm going to stay there.
It is all relative.
Yeah.
Especially that one who you said didn't have any idea who you were or what you were doing. Do you walk into Ruler Foods and like check out the cashiers and you're like, oh, it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah. Like, hey, who's behind the counter today? Okay, I'm gonna get the old Wednesday leaflet and I'm gonna be on my way.
All right, let's get the results of today's YouTube live chat poll. Do you support an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden? Yes or no? And a new installment in the Ryan Wiggins dance series.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty big deal. I haven't seen it yet. We'll talk about that when we come back. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I'm on top of the world, hey. I'm on top of the world, hey. Waiting on this for a while now. Paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, hey. To hold it in for a while, hey. Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child.
AirComfortService.com. They keep you in your comfort zone. It doesn't matter if it's cold outside or warm outside. When you are inside your home and it's heated and cooled with Air Comfort Service, you will be in your comfort zone. Reach out to them online at AirComfortService.com for any questions or issues you might be experiencing with your HVAC system. But they also do insulation. And this is a really key point because all of the perfect HVAC systems that are out there and everything is running the way it's supposed to be, if your home is under insulated, and I'm here to tell you, 9 out of 10 homes are under insulated, Air Comfort Service can come out and help you address that problem, which will potentially fix those issues that you thought may have resonated from your air conditioner or your furnace. You call them at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. And you tell them what your issue is. They can come out and assess the situation. If you know that you need to replace the HVAC system, I have replaced the air conditioner, the furnace, the water heater in my house. And I have also had them come out and do an AeroSeal duct sealing, which makes sure all the air isn't leaking through the ventilation as it moves from the basement up to the floor where your bedrooms are. Air Comfort Service will help you the whole way. Find them online at aircomfortservice.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof, Frederick Roofing.
Over 90,000 satisfied customers since 1929. Frederick Roofing, 314-645-2000.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness 101 for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness 101. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Impeaches and Cream. You guys remember that?
Yeah, it's one of our finest moments.
Impeaches and Cream. We could bring it back.
I think it's still. Is that on the board out in your room? Is the Impeaches and Cream?
I believe I still have it.
It was a
up there.
bingo card for impeachment for Trump.
Yeah.
And you did it like a soap opera.
That's right. And I think I've still got that.
I think I have it.
We've got to bring that back if this happens.
It's coming next.
Okay.
What time is it?
Oh, I've got it.
Well, that's the question of the day is, do you support an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden? Yes or no? It looks like it is happening. So let us know if you support it on the YouTube live chat poll. The time is 2:47. We'll be right back in just a second, but this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Ted Nugent. I would like to speak to the people who wear masks.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
Say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, my girl, my girl.
Man, why has nobody... Leave it up. That should say MAGA.
MAGA.
It sounds kind of like you saying MAGA.
Yeah.
MAGA.
Yeah, that probably exists somewhere.
If it doesn't, get on it.
Viral video.
Yeah. Speaking of, so you were just talking about Impeaches and Cream, this harkens back to the Donald Trump impeachment, and we had to give updates every day on what the impeachment process was. So we turned it into a soap opera, and it sounded a little bit like this.
Sorry.
Super dramatic.
And we turned it into something. Oh, no, it's starting over.
And Cream.
So we'd have this music in the background, and we would just give like Adam Schiff updates. And
we would just read a story.
And add to the story because it was so dramatic and it was so stupid.
But I also remember there being like sound drops you guys would use where he'd be like, ooh.
Yeah.
Cream.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right.
And you would have been a listener at that time.
I remember Impeaches and Cream.
So we would play this and then be like, McCarthy directs House committees to open formal impeachment inquiry into Biden's alleged involvement with Hunter business dealings.
Do you have some
creamy.
of those?
No, I don't have it. This is the only thing I have.
Creamy.
Yeah, that's right. They were gross.
Man, I kind of regret remembering this.
Oh, we got to find them now.
You would have to have them.
I probably have them somewhere. I'll have to look.
Okay.
And then it would end right there.
We going to do it again?
That?
Sure.
Oh, you want me to read more of the story?
No, not now.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
like for this impeachment.
Oh,
We don't need to wrap the show with all of that detail, but we could bring it back.
Yes. Heck yes. Especially if you can find those drops because those were super funny.
So there is a video out there right now that shows Kamala Harris at a party. I think it was wasn't it at the VP estate?
Celebrating. Might have been at the White House.
No idea.
Celebrating hip hop. And in this video, it shows Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris has got her groove on.
Yeah.
And there's some hip hop music playing in the background. And she's dancing. And I'm going to tell you this. She's not the worst dancer I've ever seen. It does not look anything like the Donald Trump dance. But they each have their own charm, probably for the people who find them charming to begin with. Fair?
That's very fair.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that you would add to this video? And this was September 10th, I believe. I think it was the day before September 11th that this took place. So this happened just this weekend. Is there anything else you think should be added about the video?
It's somebody recording her, and I don't know that she knows she's being recorded. You
She should
probably
know.
always
She
know
can't-
that you could be being recorded, but I don't know. It doesn't look like in the video that she knows there's a camera on her
I
at that
think
moment.
that it's important to say that she was unafraid of being seen.
Sure.
Fair?
Yeah.
Did you see the video?
Uh-huh.
Anything else we need to add?
No.
She looks reserved to me, like she knows, oh, I'm the
Like-
vice president.
like
I
maybe
can't
there's
quite-
more?
I can't quite go all in like I'd like to. So she's kind of keeping it at a
So this is
at
the
a low burn.
the vice presidential
Yes.
hip hop groove.
Yeah.
Well, they talked about it on Gutfeld last night, and Tyrus had something to say.
Here's the thing. Shame on all of y'all. Listen, if the VP wants to drop it like it's warm, I have no problem with that.
Like it's warm.
Because at least she can drop it and get back up. Our president just drops. So which one do you want?
Why do you have to say drop it like it's warm when you know I'm going to think of a poop joke?
Because if I said drop it like it's hot, now I'm guilty of fake news. It wasn't hot. It wasn't warm.
Yeah.
But warm's politer.
So, Ryan, you are a man of great confidence in your skills in the area of movement.
Yeah. A man of many appetites.
Let's go back to the part where you were talking about masculinity. And what did you say? It's very masculine to see something and go, what noise did you make? I can't even.
Yeah. Women don't do that
You're correct. I don't know men
because
who
they
do
don't
that.
have a baritone.
Yep, that's the reason why. You're correct. We thought when you saw that video, it was kind of, Brad and I were taken aback a little bit about how you were very aggressive about how you could do it better. You were very confident.
Well, like I said, I'm glad to hear that from Tyrus and Gutfeld because when I said low burn, I didn't realize that they had also agreed that that is exactly what that was.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw it, I thought, she's not really going all in. And then so I began talking to Ethan about, this is what she looked like, but if you really wanted to go all in. And at that moment, I was also being recorded while talking to Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
Those videos have now been spliced together.
And it is important for people to weigh in on who did it best.
Who did it best? Because understand that I could do much better than this, but I was showing Ethan what the vice president had done.
Are you saying that in what you were captured on the video doing is not your best?
It's more of a mimic.
Okay.
It's more of saying, this is the level she was trying to achieve. This.
And this is how you do it correctly?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that.
It's going live on the Annie Frey YouTube channel at 3 p.m. So
6
now
minutes.
would be a great time to go subscribe to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. We're so close. I think we're within about 60 of 6,000. And we've got some fun things planned for 6,000 subscribers. So please participate with us if you're visiting us on the YouTube channel to go visit and let us know what you think. The YouTube live chat poll for today: do you support an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden? Brad, yes or no?
Yeah, I'm a yes. I think that we need to know more information, and I believe that the impeachment inquiry gives the House a chance to have a little more legal backing to their efforts to subpoena certain things, and I think it allows them to dig deeper. There was enough there for me to want to know more.
Yes.
And that's what this will allow us to
Your
do.
answer is yes.
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes, this is exactly the same as Brad. This is where they need to find that direct line between foreign bribes and Joe Biden.
I'm a yes also, and every time the Republicans get power, everyone's always whining like, well, they're not going to do what the Democrats would do. And when the Democrats do this type of stuff, Republicans are always going, when Republicans get power, they're not going to do the same thing. You've got the power to do it. Look into it. Make sure you're following the trail of where evidence leads you and tell the American people. Dirk says, poll, I chose no, as I think the VP would be terrible. Also, if there isn't an impeachment in both houses, it's a waste of time and money. Now it may just be to get info into the light, but it's still a no. David said, I voted yes because he should have been out 2 years ago, him and his little VP too. Chris says yes, like yesterday, but he won't be removed due to the seats in the Senate. FR said, I voted yes. The process gives an alternate investigation to Weiss's sham investigation. One more here. Grant said Biden should have been impeached a year ago before he had a chance to do more damage as he has. On the results of the poll, over 300 votes. So thank you, everyone, for showing up today. On the Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll, do you support an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden? 79% of you said yes. 21% said no. Thank you for showing up today and voting with us. We appreciate it. I've already got Friday's poll set. Remind me, which checkout line are you going to? Stick around here right now on 97.1 FM Talk because the Mark Reardon Show is next.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
Thinning hair is normal, but it doesn't have to be your fate.
Once I started taking Nutrafol, I could visibly see my hair get thicker.
Nutrafol, the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand.
Nutrafol has taken me back to the hair I was meant to have.
Join the 1 million people growing at Nutrafol.com. That's Nutrafol.com. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Paid for by Nutraceutical Wellness, Inc.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan is easy to find by Googling Bagel Loan, and you're going to get connected to Stewie, and you might become the next person from the Annie Frey Show, from 97.1, who has seen the light and understood why I've been so strong on championing the Bagel Loan with Stewart's American Mortgage. People who are out there trying to buy homes. The market is super competitive. You cannot leave any penny on the table because the prices are high. When you go get a bagel loan with Stewart's American Mortgage, you will pay nothing in closing costs that all the other lenders out there are going to charge you for. This can be thousands of dollars back in your pocket. Those closing costs don't exist. He doesn't fold them into the loan and do any trickery to make it so that you're paying for them, but maybe it doesn't hurt as much up front. That's not the way it works. Call Stewie and tell him Annie sent you. 314-324-4440. You can text him also at 314-324-4440. For more information, Google the Bagel Loan and MLS number 226715.
If you like to work with a local company that gives back to the community, Window World is the preferred window of your St. Louis Blues. Mark Cox here from my friends out at Window World. What a great product. A lifetime warranty. It covers all the parts, the glass breakage, the